Oh no, what's wrong with the camera? No, why are you... No! Everything is wrong! Why is everything wrong?
Why is it nighttime?
Why did everything go wrong? Hang on, everyone, I'm sorry. Something went terribly, horribly wrong.
Are you live or?
Yeah, we're live. What's up, nerds?
Oh yeah, I see.
Oh,
very
What's
bad.
up, nerds?
Mine has a delay. Apparently.
Why are you not on?
Oh dear.
What happened to you? You didn't get unplugged?
Oh no.
Why are you like this?
The way that you are.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah.
We are live, but we're having issues. Active. Why?
Whoa.
It is over.
Oh, it is
Hi,
over.
nerds.
Hi,
You're
what's up,
expecting
nerds? We
technical
have technical
difficulties.
issues. Why?
The thing is, you know what? This fits. Who just is like. It's
We'll
normal.
we'll
Makes
just
sense.
chill here for a
Very
second.
fitting.
Properties.
Everybody's gotta have
USB
problems
Video device.
once in a while.
Okay, I
No.
deducted 3 hit points. You better add 4. You better add 3.
Yeah.
Not 4.
Yeah.
No.
Cheater.
Oh, I almost said then I'd be order 69. Then I was like, no, I'm 67 if I added 4.
Why are you like this?
So describe in detail, since this is a visual medium, what's going on.
This
Yeah, the screen is
The
black.
extra camera is not showing up for reasons unknown to me that it was working 5 minutes
Here,
ago.
Here. I turn off.
I don't turn. Oh, you just
Turn it back on.
Just leave it. It's fine.
no, it looks like there's a. Oh,
What?
I was gonna say we're back now.
Did that fix it?
Apparently that fixed it. Oh
I don't
no,
see
it didn't. Never
Yes,
mind.
I don't see
Wait.
it.
You just
Oh,
wait.
I'm seeing it.
No, it's just a black
Oh.
square.
No, it was there a second ago.
Was it
Well, see, that's I just turned off. It's her Discord camera, but it has a delay, so I don't like it. So I've got this going, but it's not working. Hang on. Let me...
Oh, yep.
See, but that's your Discord camera.
Why do you have a black box there in the first place?
It's this, but it's supposed to be this, but it's not.
It's-
But it looks like it's just covering it though.
Because it is. Because he has
Yeah.
the Discord overlay pulled up, but he doesn't like that camera, so he puts that camera over that. So instead of the.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
so
confusing.
it's
Why
showing
are
black because
you
it's
like
not
this?
transmitting anything.
Is it?
No. Oh,
It's turning on and
I
off.
got it. I fixed it.
Yay!
We have done it!
I don't know why it didn't work.
There was some rejoicing.
Okay, it's still not really getting it. Hang on, I'm gonna put myself back.
Nice and tactical inconvenience.
Tactical inconvenience.
Tactical
strategic.
inconvenience.
Okay, I'm just gonna position
You
here.
need to move.
I mean, one of you's gonna be out of frame. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to tonight's episode of Starships and Sarlaccs.
Woo!
Thank you for being with us through our technical difficulties. I'm Austin, the Game Master, as always, here with Mercedes,
Hello.
Morgan,
What's up?
Paul,
That's me!
Brent,
Hello.
I called you Paul,
Yeah.
Alex,
That's me!
Spencer,
I'm making you fun.
Shayla, and Lindsay.
I cannot hear them at all.
They're not saying anything.
Oh, I thought I heard Shayla did.
Are you guys speaking?
Yes.
You're cutting out a little bit.
I mean, I'm not, okay. We're not really saying much.
Oh, okay.
Working?
That's
Yep.
better.
That's
we-
better.
We just needed to be sure. Okay, sweet. Alright. So anyway,
Hello.
welcome to tonight's session of Starship Sarlaccs. Nothing else to say, really. This might be a shorter session, just due to the nature of I've been too busy preparing for part 2 that I haven't adequately prepared for the end of part 1. So, this is on me, but hopefully we'll have a good time.
Hey, how many times have you told me you weren't ready for your session
Oh,
like an
I-
hour beforehand?
I do it merely in jest. I'm not
Yeah,
judging
I know,
whatsoever.
I know, you're fine. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with tonight's session. Let me just pull up the music.
You don't get to hear it.
Yeah, you
Sadly.
unfortunate souls don't get to hear it.
They see me rolling.
Lest we get a lawsuit from Disney on our hands.
And I'm just gonna. There's the watch party. This is the Spotify thing.
That's invite to listen to Spotify.
Here we go.
Also, this is Joel. and
Hi,
Baby.
Joel.
Yes, Joel is there too with the baby.
Friend of the
With
channel
the
and
baby.
owner of the baby.
Hi.
Yes, the keeper of the child.
The keeper of the child.
The Joel DeLorean. I don't know. Not a game
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's been on our streams and stuff before,
Yeah.
or at least in chat.
So,
Hi.
jumping into where we left off, you got where we last left off. The crew of the Stargazer traveled to the planet of Malachor, where they encountered several visions of figures yet to be. They don't know that. Where they encountered Jedi, Sith, troopers of various kinds, Mandalorians. They also, atop the summit of the temple on Malachor, faced down a portal through time and space itself that Nylana and Aesop had to close. But they were attacked by another figure, a tall, dark, very menacing figure in armor, a Sith Lord, who fought them very, very fiercely. Aetoph was able to summon figures from within the portal as a sort of echoes that they've been experiencing, and in so doing were able to help hold off the menacing figure until they were able to close the portal. With that all said and done, Nylana, Byra's mother, asked them to return her to the planet of Midori, where they are from, and that's where we left off, as you arrived on this beautiful green planet.
Can we also recall the fact that Coda blew up one of those people?
Coda killed Ahsoka Tano,
Okay.
but not really killed Ahsoka Tano.
It's not canon.
No.
But
if
is she
she were-
killed in
And-
our version?
Yeah,
of
she
canon?
would be dead.
Well, it's just an echo of Ahsoka's presence pulled from the Force. So
In
now
our
Ahsoka's
multiverse
still
of
dead.
badness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ahsoka
that's
Tano
what-
is not dead! Plain and simple.
That's what the whole thing ended up being, was just our own multiverse of madness.
Pretty much. So, Midori is now before you as you fly down this beautiful green and blue planet. Mountains and forests and rivers, valleys. It is very diverse in its topography. It has great highs and great lows. There's a plentiful there's beasts, birds, all sorts of things that you can see as you look out. It's a very peaceful looking planet. For those of you Force users I described last time, this planet is probably the most balanced planet you've ever been to, where it obviously has its peace and its harmony with nature, but it also does have its darkness that is just ever present in planets that are balanced. Where it seems, but it's never too dark. It's never too light. It's never too dark in its presence. Where there are, things that happen here. There is death. There is darkness. There is sadness. But it is not outweighed by the light that you also feel here. Nylana, sorry, you were about to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say I would have wanted to try and do a little bit of research on Midori on our way over there.
What
Can I find
Roll
out?
a history check, or a lore check, not a history check.
She could have also asked me.
Can I do something?
I would if I didn't find anything on the HoloNet.
Does feel in character to go there first.
Yeah. It's okay.
That is a 23.
What do you think?
She knows more about it than you do.
There's very little on this planet, actually. There's some mention of it from traders. Like Nylana said, there are traders, traders, not traitors,
Traders.
that come to the planet that, drop off supplies, they kind of barter. There's not much. All there really is they're very simple people. They're not particularly worldly. There is a technological presence here. They're not, primitive. But other than there's not a whole lot on the planet itself. It's kind of, from what you can tell, kind of a closely kept secret between the business people who come here. It's not something they just spread to the rest of the world at the behest of the people who live here. And also, you know what? I kind of like these people. They're kind of, because there's some exports here that they take, but they're exclusive. We're gonna try to keep this to ourselves.
Okay. After that, I would probably go to Byra, just be like, okay, this is what the HoloNet tells me. Now to get a more personal account of the planet, I would ask you.
I'll just tell her anything that I know.
What I would say that you get from Byra is more of a spiritual sense of the planet.
Okay.
That the people live very harmoniously with nature. Again, there's technology there, but their mantra is, what does she say in the show? If you live in harmony with nature, you'll both change. Something like that. You can't change the river's flow by casting a stone, but live in harmony with nature and you'll both change. That's kind of the mantra of the village. So it's more of a spiritual answer than like a technical. Oh yeah, we sell this, we give out these fruits or these whatever we grow on the planet. It's more of a
It's
personal
more
connection.
fulfilling.
We have a
Yeah.
population of XXX.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So Nylana directs Dex as the pilot in the direction of the village, and as I mentioned, it is kind of nestled on the side of a mountain where it's not too steep. It's pretty kind of a nice, gentle incline up this mountain pass, and there is kind of one flat patch of grass kind of on the cliff side that seems to be the place for starships to land. It's big enough for you guys to land on. So, and you can see it from up here that it's very quaint. Like, some of the buildings appear to be made with possibly even discarded starship parts.
Yeah.
But plenty of what you might expect to see wooden buildings. Very simple wooden. We'll call them hovels because they're not like living in poverty, but it's a pretty nice looking place. Like, you vacation there maybe.
Not hobos.
A bungalow.
Yeah, nice little bungalows.
Or like a treehouse kind of
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, and so it's very nice and quaint. You can see there's plenty of people out. Very simply dressed people. It's kind of in, what could be local furs or wools that you get from local animals. There's people, there's children. You can't make out quite many details from up here, but you can at least tell that. I'll turn my light here. It's a little dark.
You're
It's a little dark.
dark
Uh,
over there.
A little more light. So, I assume Dex sets the ship down.
Sorry, he has the bibs.
No, you're fine. He's with his baby. But I don't think it's something I need to ask if he does. I'm just going to circle overhead for the next 24 hours. So as you set the ship down...
nice.
Can we please go down?
you notice as you descend that you start to attract the attention of the people. They start looking at you. And Byra, you'd probably notice this. You have the highest passive perception. And Dex would too. That they're kind of looking at you a little suspiciously. It's not a ship that they know. There's probably very few ones that come by here from what Nylana has described. It's different. Is everyone disembarking?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So, as you disembark, I would assume, Byra, you're leading the way with your mother?
Yep.
Okay. So as you disembark, you see that there's a crowd of people. The population of this village, it probably can't be more than 100. Like, it's not a small village, kind of decently sized. A lot of it is hidden by the trees around. There's some more prominent buildings, what appears to be kind of like a major village gathering place, kind of an open seating area in front of it, as well as some buildings that are more exposed, but also some that you can see now are kind of tucked away in the trees, kind of as a natural covering for it. So, as you disembark, you notice that there's a predominant human presence, I'd say, but there is actually quite a bit of, there's a decent alien presence. You've known from Nylana and Byra that, they're not humans, but there's some Aqualish, there's Rhodians, there's, I had one other list that I know for certain. Twi'leks, Rhodians, Aqualish, and a couple of others. You see an Ithorian, same race as Boomy. And kind of you see someone making their way through the crowd as they're all kind of looking at you. Like there's some children looking very like, who's this? Who's this? And you can kind of hear the whispers from among the crowd.
They look like weirdies.
And you see someone pushing, kind of shuffling through the crowd, and people start to part ways. And you see this very small, hunched over, very wrinkly old man, gray hair, little beard. He's walking up with a cane. This is Asu, the village elder. You know him. He comes forward very slowly and kind of looking through his good eyes.
How well do I know him?
You know him pretty
Since
well.
I-
Like
since I was a
everyone
kid?
knows Asu. Yeah, you've known him for years.
Okay.
Like he's the village chief.
What's my
he's
relationship with
village
him?
elder. What's your relationship with him?
Mm-hmm.
He sent you on this quest. So
Oh.
I'd say it's pretty darn good.
Okay.
Or bad.
Pretty
depending
darn
on how you
good.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I do I respect this guy or?
But yeah, he's very respectable. He's very
Okay.
kind. He's very lighthearted. He's just a guy that nobody can hate. It's just kind of unless you hate really sincere people. But since you grew up here, probably not.
Okay. Kind I like Monty from.
Yeah, he's like
Tangled
Monty, but you're not exactly
series.
Rapunzel here.
You know what I'm talking about.
I didn't hear what you said.
Monty?
I don't think he does know.
Monty from what?
I
Tangled
don't think he
series.
does know. He's only seen certain
No?
parts of the
I
show.
feel like I do. What does he look like?
He comes in. Like
But he's only
first
seen
season.
certain parts of the show. He hasn't watched the whole show.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
like the first
Seen
season.
the first season. He should have. Okay.
Either way.
Alex,
What were you guys laughing
can you
about?
hand me one of the cookie dough ones?
So
Or just the whole plate.
I asked Alex to hand me a cookie. He did, and I said, "Thank you. I love you."
It's just like I was not expecting
Oh,
that.
okay. I was like, what?
Shush, dog. But anyway.
Sorry, I had to find out like this.
So sudden. So he comes through and through your really old, wrinkly, squinted eyes, he kind of does his like, this like a happy smile when he sees Nylana and you. And he kind of rushes forward. He
Oh my
shuffles
gosh.
forward,
As an old man can rush.
and he holds out his arms, his big old, like
I go give him.
almost
a hug.
bigger than his body, like
I
in his
give him
group
a
hug.
hug.
And Nylana
How you
comes in too.
doing?
He's like, I'm so glad to see that you're safe, the both of you.
It's been so long. He looks up at your mother. 'Cause he's short. He's very short. He's also hunched over from age,
I can't remember what. Height I put myself at.
I think you're about 5'6", maybe. Can't remember, but he's very short.
Like, it's been so long since you went off on your quest. And you, young lady, it hasn't been that long.
Nope.
But it appears that you are both successful?
That's
No.
technically true.
No,
Yours ain't quite done.
That's true. We're not done.
Oh,
Nylon says,
Oh, okay.
she says, mine is finished, Elder, and I have my daughter and her friends here to thank for it. I was not sure I'd ever be able to see home again. He looks back at the rest of you.
oh yes! Very interesting.
He kind of shuffles between them, looks at the rest of you.
Oh, I feel some of you are very different to me.
He looks at you in particular.
I've never. You're different.
You guys
Hello
are probably
there.
the same
How
height.
tall are you? You're
Yep, I was
pretty
about to
short.
say, who's shorter?
You're
Him
pretty
or
short.
Cody?
How short are
Like
you?
4 foot.
I think I'm 4'2".
You're 4'2".
So you're a teeny man.
He might be taller than you.
4'5".
4'5". He might be taller than you normally, but he's hunched over, so you're about at eye level.
I was about to say, are they at eye level or still?
Like-
I've never met one like you before. I am Asu, chief of this village. Might I have your name?
I'm Coda, captain of this crew.
Be careful with that one.
Kota. Well, it's very pleasurable to meet you.
And so it is.
Yes,
He's humble too.
Yeah, and he looks over. I'd say he looks at Asdapeus and Aetop. I don't know if you guys are standing next to each other, but he looks at the two of you. He sees your lightsabers. He's like,
Oh, you must be Jedi. I've heard of you. I've never met a Jedi, but the spacers who come in here, the off-worlders, they talk about Jedi. And some horrible war that's going on.
Gratis, by the way, is at the top of the boarding ramp, just like leaning against the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say, did Gratis come down?
Gratis is
Classic edgelord.
yeah, he's just standing in the
Far
back.
away.
But I've heard great stories of the Jedi. It's an honor to meet you.
Very deeply.
Definitely
You
some
feel he
Jedi
might
cheese.
fall over. because
It's
he's
like, up.
already hunched over.
No, it's
As the payas will kind of bow down too and just be like, "It's an honor to meet you as well."
I know a YouTuber.
I will.
I know a YouTuber.
I know I speak on behalf of the rest of the village when I say thank you for returning the daughters of the village to us. It's always bittersweet when one hears the call of the Majina and is called away from the village. Some return, some do not, so whenever they return it is a good day, especially from danger. So thank you for bringing them here safely.
It was our pleasure, sir.
Yes. I've met some of you before. We don't have any here in the village, but Gratuita, right?
Togruta.
Right. You have to forgive me. I'm quite old, you see.
That-
but I can still
that actually-
dance with the rest of them.
No, please.
That actually makes Miria kind of chuckle a little bit.
Yes.
And I'm gonna kind of lean to Byra. I like him.
I would
like
character.
I like to imagine
This
that
is
DP
awkward.
said that
This is
in
awkward for me.
perfect copy of his voice. Just whispered.
I don't know
is
the
like-
DP as a concept.
This is like a very old grandpa meeting family.
Yeah, trying to be all hip.
Like,
Like, no,
meeting,
Grandpa,
meeting
no.
friends of mine. I'm like,
Suppose it
please
always
don't
is.
be awkward.
Grandpa, stop.
Maybe xenophobia, but it's not a hero.
Yeah. It's about the same. I will say you noticed when he first came up to you that some of like the teenagers were back, like
Cataracts
scurried
as well, eh?
off in the direction of your home. And as he's introducing himself to the rest of the crew, you see them come back, and pushing through the crowd is your father. Bluish skin, a little lighter blue. You can see where Byra gets kind of the combination of colors from her father and her mother. Same race, McKeon. He sees you both and just gives the biggest smile and just like the most not exhausted, but just relieved sigh ever. Just runs up, grabs the two of you, and he's taller than you two. He's got some. You guys would say he's got a little muscle on him. Like this is a guy who works physically a lot. And you imagine actually quite a few of the people here pretty physically healthy. You kind of would have to be living in the elements like this. He just scoops you both up, gives you a big hug.
Dad, why do you do this all the time?
Can you blame me? It's been.
This moment, I can't blame you. Nope.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm still gonna do it though. You know I'm still gonna do it.
Okay.
All the time. For the next probably week, maybe I'm probably gonna give you. And,
Hey, Dad.
You're gonna end up smothered, it seems.
and then he then kind of gives both you and your mom individual hugs. Takes a little longer with your mother.
I start to tear up when he starts hugging my mom.
He does. They both do.
Yeah.
It's to be expected.
Yeah, because they haven't seen each other for a long time.
Yeah, it's been 5 years. Your father, and you would know, he was not. He accepted and was supportive of you, but you can tell he was not happy per se when
Well,
you were
no.
called away.
This little girl.
Exactly.
Even Miria's getting like a tiny bit teary-eyed, and she's like quick to like gonna pull down her goggles and like pretend to be like looking at something on her data pad so no one sees her tearing up.
At one point, while he's introducing himself to the rest of you, Asu, he's like,
I see boots in that ship there. Don't think you can escape the hospitality. Come down here. Introduce yourself to me.
Yes, come on, Gladys.
My
He
eyes may not,
doesn't bite.
my eyes may not look like much, but I still can see pretty damn well.
Sound like Matt.
I know a pair of boots when I see them.
Gratis, reluctantly. He actually, let me see. I would say Dex notices this, and what's everyone else's passive perception? Because I figure you're further away from the ship.
17.
17,
11.
Nope.
17.
12.
12,
14.
14. And
What's your
Shayla,
ship?
what's yours?
30.
My passive perception is 14.
Yeah, okay, so Dex and DP, you actually notice he has tucked his lightsaber behind his cape that he's wearing over his shoulder. He walks down. Yes, hello, I am Gratis. I was among these people when they rescued, or when they fulfilled Nylana's quest.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gratis. Well, I think we all know what this means.
He turns to the
Gratis says, tonight we feast! 2 of our daughters have returned, and don't think for 1 second that the rest of you can get out of this. If we don't share it with you, we will be cursed.
Okay, Atsu. Alright.
Alright.
It's quite
Hello.
excitable.
I just we don't have very many banquets often. When there's a wedding, or when visitors come, or when people return.
He loves getting excited.
I can
Do you
see
feel
that.
threatened?
Loves, yes. Don't blame you.
So
I'm not
yes.
sure yet.
Neither am I.
So anyway, if you don't feast, you and I will be cursed. So I don't want to be cursed.
I
we
don't
shall
think
feed
either
you.
of us would share that sentiment either.
So we shall feed you greatly. Bring out the good stuff, everyone.
And he starts to shuffle his way back, and everyone's starting to get excited. People like starting to rush off, like back to their homes, and just the kind of clutter. And some of them come up and start to greet Byra and Nylana, giving them hugs, handshakes, that sort of a thing. Family, friends, things like that.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Is there anything you all wish to do before the banquet?
I would like to pull DP aside.
Okay, where exactly are you pulling him aside? There's kind of a cliff side, because this is kind of positioned on a cliff. There's sort of a cliff side. There's the ship. There's within the village. There's an open area in the middle of the village that people kind of
You
walk
don't
through.
have enough strength to push anybody anywhere.
Goodbye, brother.
Brother, help me. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull him off to like the side of the preparations. Like I don't want to pull him like a great distance away from everybody. Just
So not
enough
to the cliff?
side. No. Just
cliff's
enough
not that
that we
far.
won't be disturbed or like overheard at all. Even though I know this one can see ridiculously far and
Uh-huh.
And
anyway.
here really far too now.
Yeah, you suck. Anyway.
What is this about, Robbery?
Oh man, this is difficult for me. As the former Imperial droid, I don't know if you have any feelings about the matter.
I'm capable of feelings.
There you go. There you go. I figured you should know that I have not been exactly forthcoming with who I am with anyone. Some time ago, you asked me how I had obtained my skills. While I didn't exactly lie to you, I did not tell you the exact truth. Can you guys stop? Peanut gallery here. It's like you guys are like in the bushes, like watching, like, oh.
Got our binoculars out.
I can totally see Dex doing it.
Yeah, I can too.
Dex is probably just sitting off to the side with one of his like new receptors, just listening.
Why are you always listening?
It's my job as a scout to always be listening and watching.
Anyway.
I knew as much that you weren't
Anyway.
being forthcoming, but I did not press for details.
And I am very grateful about that. I was gone from home for 10 years, as you know, under the service of the Empire. For the past 10 years, I have been trained to be an Imperial spy. And very recently, I'm fairly certain I basically handed in my resignation.
How so?
The last contact I had with my handler did not go well.
I flipped him the bird.
I refused to say something specific, and apparently it was a sign of insubordination. So I have a feeling he's going to send someone to come fetch me at some point.
Where, Ravri, where do your loyalties lie? To yourself or to everyone here?
I mean, at first it was just myself, but I mean, I wouldn't say I'm particularly good friends with anyone here, but I wouldn't betray any of you. And as far as anybody knowing who I am. Dex and Kota already know about my employment. Kota found out quite by accident. And
I like it. I like how you have to stipulate that.
yeah. And in talking with him, I have come to the conclusion that it would be better to let you all know who I am. Well, not all of you, but this goes against everything I've been trained to do. So I'm very uncomfortable with letting this information go, but I figure it would be safer for everyone to know.
I am no stranger to going against one's nature. My programming would indicate I am to... I forgot his name. I wrote it down here.
Common.
Yes, I know I wrote it, but yeah. My programming would indicate servitude to Colonel Thalman, and yet here I am, free. You are similarly in a position to make a choice, and it appears as though you have made that choice. As a matter of strategy, what does your handler know?
I gave him very vague information that we were in pursuit of Raymont Black, and basically he told me that Raymont was a liability and he needed to be disposed of. But he doesn't know where we are. I did not give him our location or any of that kind of information, but I don't think it would be hard for him to find out.
Probably not.
Seeing as how he is in the business of information.
If Raymond Black is an asset of the Empire, I imagine it would be no small feat to confer and get as many details as Raymond has on us.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about.
We will have to be careful, but we can now make necessary precautions.
And that's also why I feel it necessary to let people in on my secret. But I, of course, want to be the one to let everyone know on my own terms.
I don't know why the scene from Jurassic Park where he's having the lunch with the covert agent, and he's like, forget his name. It's like, we've got him right here. He's right here.
Donson, we've got Donson. See, nobody cares.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking of. We've got a trainer. We've got a trainer right here. Who cares?
I figured as a former Imperial droid, you would understand the delicate nature of revealing this kind of information.
Naturally. It is far too often that I myself am despised and distrusted simply for my appearance. Hey, there's that racism thing.
Yeah, he does understand xenophobia.
Yeah.
He comes to realization. Oh.
Is that what racism is? Wait, what? No, that's fine. That's grammatically fine. Anyways. I understand completely. When do you plan on revealing things to everyone else?
Hopefully before the end of the evening.
I think you're just gonna be like one by one, pull people aside and talk to them.
Nope. Don't get too drunk, y'all. I need to have a serious conversation with you.
That would be so funny, though.
Get
Yeah, I would
get
actually.
drunk.
Don't get poisoned again, though.
Let me pull up alcoholic beverages on SW5e.
Get blackout drunk and totally forget I told you.
Yeah.
Or you start telling everyone, like, I'm gonna
Probably gotta be some exotic.
tell anyone.
Oh, I do have something else to say. Rovri, do you require assistance in dealing with the situation you find yourself in?
Assistance how?
I am not sure how to answer that. We are a team. We help one another. Do you require help?
I guess just keeping an eye out for anything that feels suspicious. I mean, there's not much I know what to prepare for. Watcher is very intelligent and knows everything about me, knows my weaknesses and what to hit me hardest with.
Have you told Gratis of your situation?
No.
It is
So
possible
far,
that he can provide information on Watcher, but I advise caution.
I don't think I will tell Gratis. I don't trust him. My experience with the Sith is once they get what they need from you, they dispose of you.
It is plain to see that Gratis is different as far as other Sith Lords are concerned, but I understand your apprehension.
In my line of business, it's best to be careful. And if something's too good to be true, it's best to shoot it just in case.
That's very similar to Koda's line of thinking.
That is truly wise. Kota and I have lived our lives the past 10 years doing just that. Shot a lot of birds.
As far as providing aid, I honestly don't know what to expect.
Very well. I will be there should you request assistance.
Thank you. I'm not one to open up about things like this, again, because it goes against what I've been trained to do, but also I'm just not a very trusting person to begin with. But thank you for listening and accepting that.
Of course. It would have been a different story if you were still a spy.
Honestly, I don't think I've actually been doing my job as a spy since Alderaan. And I think Watcher knows that.
I imagine he will come post-haste to destroy you.
Yes. It's been an increasing anxiety been growing on my mind, and I don't think I can keep it to myself anymore.
I see. I will consider ways that I can help. But I think it is best you steel your resolve as you talk to the others.
Agreed. Thank you again.
Of course.
And she just kind of awkwardly nods at him and walks away.
I think like DP also like he's a droid. He's not like capable of awkwardness, but he just like leaves. Conversation done.
Yep. Pass that back over here real quick, Alex, please. Hopefully we'll be able to have this microphone issue resolved in part 2. But anyway, so you guys part. The banquet is being prepared. There's an air of excitement going on around. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before the banquet, or just come right to it? Cut right to it.
I have something after the banquet.
Okay, after the banquet.
I have something during the banquet.
Okay. Anything else before?
I have more conversations to be had during.
That's fine.
Actually, I want to talk to.
Speak up.
Sorry, I want to talk to both my parents.
Okay.
Really quick.
Yeah.
And
The
I
three of you
think
make your way back to your home.
and I think
Yeah.
Spencer was raising his hand.
Where
yeah.
Where
No.
is your...
No, he wasn't.
No?
Oh, okay.
So the three of you make your way back. You can move the microphone closer to you if you want.
It took very quietly.
Yes. So three of you make your way back in your home, and for you,
we can't.
it hasn't been terribly long.
Can't
since,
see.
It hasn't been terribly long since you left. It's
No.
been a few months, but at the same time, it's been very hectic last few months.
Been-
So it's nice to be back here, and
Well,
since you've never left home before, it's very welcoming, and that
Yeah.
experiencing a completely dead world, 2 very mechanical worlds, and Terrace. Being back home, very, very pleasant.
Yeah, it feels really good spiritually for myself
Very
to be
rejuvenating.
back. I think I would just want to like reassure their emotions right now.
Okay.
Especially with not seeing mom for 5 years. You know, I kind of want to ask my mom, you know, what are your plans now? I mean, do you plan on staying home?
Nalana sits. Well, my mission is over. I was called to correct that imbalance, and that has been done. So
Yeah.
I have no reason to stay out.
Okay.
And I'm home now. I never intended on staying away,
I know you didn't.
but I will stay here. But
Okay.
you are not quite finished? Do you
Not
know what-
exactly.
Do you know what you want to do when you're finished? You seem rather close with your friends.
I am. But I'm not gonna lie, it feels good to be home.
Certainly.
I don't know yet. I'm kind of feeling like I'm between a rock and a hard place. It's a very difficult decision, and I don't think I'm ready to make that decision quite yet.
Your father, thanks for saying so. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's very fair. As you know, there have been some that come back permanently, some that don't.
Yeah,
This will always be your home, no matter what you choose.
I know that.
And we will stand behind you with whatever you choose. It's a big galaxy.
You're telling me. First time going out there, yeah. Phew. It's a bit much
You'll have
sometimes.
to tell me all about it over dinner.
Yes, I will. Okay. That's all I wanted.
That's all you want?
Yeah.
I'll say, as we continue onward, the banquet starts to become, starts to get more into full swing. The things are being cooked, and you can smell there's meats being prepared, there's vegetables, there's local fruits being placed out. They're breaking out the good drinks too, and start getting ready. And you'll notice Gratis is actually helping to prepare the feast, sort of awkwardly, kind of just like grabbing place. He actually is pressed into service by this old lady who just like kind of gives him a tray of stuff. He's like, "Take this," and
Get to work, Sonny.
he starts like putting placemats down and things like that.
I am at a distance, so I don't
Watching
get
him
pressed
do
into
this?
service
Yeah.
with a huge grin, just enjoying this picture, this beautiful picture of this powerful Sith being bossed around by
An old lady.
by an old lady.
Yeah.
Do you have a pina colada with an umbrella in your hand?
I want to.
You're able to grab one. Like there's kind of stuff, and you know people are just setting stuff out. Some of them are grabbing it early. Like occasionally some kids will sneak under. There's like a buffet table. The kids will kind of sneak under and like grab something and then run away.
I would quickly ask Asu if I would be allowed to bring Koshka out to the banquet and feed her.
Do you explain who Koshka is?
Yes, I would explain.
Oh, of course, we love pets, and you notice there are quite an array
Yes,
of
I'm not
different
one
little
of you.
domesticated animals. Yes, go and bring all are welcome.
Okay, would I see Coda on my way back to the ship?
I'm sure you would.
What are you so smug about?
I just point to Gratis.
Who's currently being chastised for putting the place down, like putting a couple of things down wrong.
I'm gonna get him an apron. I think it's gonna be perfect.
An apron.
It's a gift.
With what on it?
I don't know. I don't know if these people have on aprons. If they have aprons.
They would definitely have aprons.
Oh yeah, there's aprons.
Yeah.
You still hold quite the grudge against him.
Oh yes, I do.
Probably the emblem on there.
It's not really an emblem. of
There's
the
no
village,
emblem.
No.
Okay.
You get, like,
Why
kiss
is
the chef
that?
apron.
Yeah, something like that.
Lindsay's
Sith.
Lindsay's got a.
Yes, Lindsay.
I'll answer your question here, but
Can I go help Gratis do stuff, prepare stuff?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
He seems kind of like flustered or confused. I'll just kind of like try to be just like gentle and help him with whatever he's doing.
He's not actually pretty. He doesn't seem flustered. Actually, he seems to be taking it pretty well. Before we get back to you, roll insight actually for me real quick.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay, let's see.
Oh no.
Dang. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
25.
Okay.
Wow.
So Gratis has talked about how in control he is of his emotions, but you can kind of tell these are the reactions of a man who seems to be pretty used to getting berated and getting corrected very harshly. He's a Sith Lord. You can imagine this might be kind of a common occurrence, especially to when, being an acolyte or an apprentice.
Gotcha.
So he seems to be taking it in stride.
Okay.
You two make a team.
Why do you still hate him so? I mean, I was distrusting of him at first myself, but I feel that he has proved himself over our time with him.
My experience with Sith is that they are monsters. And I've seen too many friends and gonna be friends be cut down by them.
So it is personal.
Yes. Even if he didn't cut any down that I know. Being a Sith that I understand. At any moment, if he wanted to, he can cut everyone down here
But he
and
hasn't.
not feel anything.
But he hasn't. And he's been with us for months.
Only because he needs us. The moment that we are not useful, he will either leave or kill us all.
What if he chooses to leave?
That's a fair feeling.
Then he's a better Sith than most.
Would that earn your forgiveness?
No. It does not excuse him of what he's done.
Are Selkath stubborn people?
Yes, actually. Except they're usually stubborn about not fighting. I'm a weird one.
No argument there.
Amen.
They're very peaceful. And then there's me.
your people are so peaceful, then why would you not make peace with Gratis?
They make peace because they don't want to be. They don't want Manan to be a battleground over Colto.
I see.
Because if they don't, the Republic and Sith will both fight for it. Right now, we saw the both sides. Equally.
I see. Now pray tell, why are you different from the rest?
Well, it's boring. Like, really boring. But, two, the first time I saw a Republic soldier, I mean, keep in mind, in Manan, we enforce the peace, but the Republic and Sith still fight in Manan.
In
Just-
where?
Manan.
Oh, that's what I thought you were saying.
Just not physically. But the first time I saw a Republic soldier standing up to a bunch of Sith, it inspired me. I wanted to be like him. He was alone, but he still stood his ground.
Did he use a bunch of explosives?
No,
See, that's where I'm trying to connect the dots.
no. See,
How you became such a pyromaniac when your people are so peaceful.
that happened because I blew up with DP. We both blew up.
I had forgotten that.
And then a Jedi touched me.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa there.
And then I looked.
I'm not going to get into that.
Don't you start! Don't you start!
Now it's gonna be in your head the rest of the
Yes,
night.
it is!
The time that Jedi touched.
Can I say I just look back on the stream and just see the rage in Paul's face and Brent like It's perfect.
Well, I am a very neutral person myself, as I'm sure you have seen.
Yes.
I was distrustful of Gratis also when we started. However, I have come to see that he is a valuable asset, and continuing to berate him for things when he has done us no wrong isn't exactly a very logical thing to do.
At this point, I don't want to be sidelined should he actually pull a lightsaber on us. I'm not going to be the one that's surprised.
I mean, fair. But do you not believe in second chances?
Oh, I believe in second chances, but not the 100th chance. Do you know what a Sith Lord has to do to be a Sith Lord?
Not entirely, no.
Neither do I, but I'm sure it's really bad.
You know, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I am not very familiar with the ways of the Sith or the Jedi. Believe me, this whole past adventure we had with Malachor and everything went completely over my head. I was lost and confused half the time.
Oh, me too. It's really weird.
I will just say this. You were given a second chance to live. Because you blew up, and yet you lived. What if Gratis is trying to do the same? If he wants a second chance to live and repent of what he has done?
Can I look at Gratis right now and see like what exactly he's doing?
He and Aetoff are currently arranging seats, and the tables are rather low. It's not so much chairs as they are like cushions that people would sit on. The tables are quite low. They're arranging cushions that people like bringing out of their homes and kind of arranging them around the different tables.
And then, how is he reacting to Aetop helping him out? Like, how is he reacting in her presence? Has he changed how he reacts in general, or
Roll an insight check.
Okay. Please, Dash, please. Give me
To the bell.
Where's
The bell.
do that one? Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Modify 20.
520. Okay.
Neat.
You've also noticed, just as a general observation, that with Aetop's arrival, the old lady has stopped shouting orders at him. But he seems, I'll just say, a little more at ease. You didn't really glean the same information off him as Aetop did when she first came over to help him.
Yeah,
But
which is
He's
like,
just,
yeah.
it's pretty casual. He's not saying much. Unless Lindsay wants to have a conversation during that time, but I'm not sure of that yet. But as of now, I say he's not saying much. Just kind of very focused on what he's doing right now.
See, Aotov trusts him, and if anyone in this group would be able to tell if someone had ill intentions, it would be one of our Force users.
That's the other thing that concerns me.
What do you mean?
In my time of fighting, there's been one or more Jedi that switch sides. What if he's over here trying to get that to happen to Asclepius and Aetop? I mean, he looks all hunky-dory right now, but he could be waiting to strike.
Did you ever consider that Aotop is trying to get him to join the light side?
Maybe.
And that's the pass?
Ow. Come on.
I'm just saying, Kota. I understand your mistrust of him. I do.
I really want that.
But I feel that he has more than once proved himself and has several opportunities to have killed us. Especially on Malachor, when it seemed that the dark side was very present. He fought against another Sith Lord to protect us. If he were truly wanting to off us, he would have let him do it. Or if anything, would have helped him.
I see where you're coming from. And I think about it. At the moment, I'm gonna agree to disagree.
That is fair. That is fair. But at least, don't try to always blow him up.
It's so much fun to think about.
You scare me sometimes. You can be trusting or mistrusting all you want. But again, at least consider giving him more of a chance. And don't put him in the line of fire on purpose all the time. He's been a very good asset to us. He has saved some of our lives more than once.
I'll think about it. Maybe.
Maybe.
I just give him a look like, seriously?
That is best you're gonna get from me. I'm stubborn, remember?
Yeah, I'm 7. That's sure what it sounded like.
I'm just gonna give him a little pat on the head. I'm going to the ship to get Koshka.
Yeah.
Pass me the kitty.
Can I intercept her before she gets to the ship?
Sure.
What now?
Or while she's on the ship or something? Are the Trandoshans on the ship? Or
Emotions are firmly amongst the crowd.
Okay.
You pass Coda on your way into the ship as she's getting Koshka.
They're also gravitating. They're also gravitating towards Dex. He's the only one here who can understand them.
Right.
Yeah.
Dex is
Yeah.
fully here. He's got something lightly alcoholic. He's just sitting there sipping it, and he's got his thing on so he can hear from far away. And he's just listening to everything and just sipping on whatever alcohol there is.
Dex is like, I know and see everything.
Basically.
Hey, Kota, as Robbery passes by you, she gives you a look, and she does not look like she's doing well. As she
Just walk by. Hey,
I'm just gonna check that as you walk in.
What's our
Huh?
problem?
Must have been Gratis.
Nice to know you listen to me, you little fishy freak.
Anyway, more
fish. It's really like a fish fillet.
Fish smell.
let it go. Let it go next to me. My lord.
Stormtrooper. But Aubrey's gonna intercept Miria as she's on a ship looking for a Koshka.
Downtown.
You say that we're on the ship, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will we be able to hear you?
I'll move it back. I'm currently not speaking very much.
Okay.
So she walks up to you and she
Wait,
looks
kind of bump the
very
camera, I think.
she looks very nervous.
I did bump the camera.
It's just my laptop.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you. So she again kind of awkwardly doesn't really know how to start this. She's like, Miria.
Yes.
So cold.
This is man. She just kind of awkwardly pets the cat for a second and then just I have something rather important to I guess confess. And I want you to keep in mind that Dex, DP, and Kota already know this.
Throw them under the bus.
All right.
Just putting that out there. I never specified what my job was or what my occupation has been. And it has recently become a problem.
How so? Are you in danger?
Yes. But me being in danger in this particular circumstance might put everybody else in our group in danger.
How can we help?
Well, before you offer help, let me tell you. Now listen up. Here's a story. For the past 10 years, I have been in the employ of Imperial intelligence. And recently, I think I basically quit my job.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I see.
And I'm afraid that my handler might be sending someone after me, which could put all of you in danger. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what method he will use. But just to make things clear, I do not have any loyalty. Kind of shudders as she says that. I don't have any ties to the Empire.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Just cause.
I imagine Miria is like getting more like on her face, getting more skeptical as the conversation's going on.
That's 19.
You're feeling pretty confident that she's telling the truth.
When we went to Alderaan to find my sister, that's really when I started seriously thinking about a career change, I guess you could say.
Who was your handler?
They don't have names. And they are never known outside of Imperial intelligence. They're ghosts. They're not meant to be known by anybody. Technically, I shouldn't even be telling you any of this, but
Would I know
Figured-
anything about Imperial intelligence? No.
Besides that, they are the shadiest, most difficult people in the galaxy.
Cool.
They pull off bad crap, and there's very little that the public knows about.
Okay.
What about Alexa?
Alexa.
Snappy. Ask Snappy what's going on.
Would you guys be opposed to ordering cookies? Joel, would you be opposed to ordering cookies?
Hey, they're
I
copying
mean, we
us.
have cookies here, so you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Okay, cool. I'm not involved in this conversation, so
But Robbery is like playing with her hands, just like kind of pacing. She's very anxious, just like looking at you, and you can tell this is not comfortable for her.
I'm gonna go up, just grab you by the wrists, gently.
And she kind of recoils a little bit, just instinctively.
Stop moving. You're stressing me out.
I'm very stressed.
I understand, but you need to remain calm. I'm gonna pull my hands away.
And she just kind of is stiffly standing there.
Here, I'm gonna bend down, give you the cat.
She's just gonna
Pet
pet
the
him and
cat.
just, like,
This will help.
uh,
Pet the cat.
Dangerous
as you can
goal,
imagine, this goes against
Yeah.
everything I've been trying to do.
That's where she pets it so much it starts to go bald in one spot.
Just pulling off clumps of fur. No.
You said it was back on Alderaan that you essentially quit your job.
No. I had been thinking about it before my sister came into the picture.
I see.
It wasn't until we were there on the planet and I saw everything that was happening to my home, my family. That's when it really started to hit home. But I didn't formally end things until right before the party, right before the birthday party.
I see. Well, looks like we're both in unemployment.
You too?
Well, I'm certain after blackmailing my boss for an invitation to that party, I don't think I have a job anymore. I haven't checked,
You're
but
also pretty sure he poisoned you.
and I'm
You-
certain he poisoned me too. Or sent
You
someone to poison me at the
You
party.
blackmailed your boss, and then he poisoned you.
I don't think he took very well to it.
well, yeah.
Poison you? Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I was surprised myself that I did that, but I was in the moment was desperate. But I never really was all that fond of him. So it looks like you and I both are going to have to look for jobs after this.
well, honestly, with that kind of skill, you could probably work for Republic Intelligence.
I very well
If that
could.
is a thing.
Strategic information service, actually.
I very well could. I'm still figuring out what I want to do. And run things by Dex as well. But
Honestly, I would say stay far away from any of that. Having worked for an intelligence agency, I wouldn't recommend it.
that's fair. Well, I understand how that would have been hard for you to tell. And if you had told me this months ago, I might have had a different reaction.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But
Exactly.
Months ago, I wasn't in this position of quitting, so
But over the course of time that we have traveled together, you have shown your worth as a companion and an ally. And knowing that of your own free will and choice, you chose to leave the employ of the Empire. I mean, that sits well with me. And I'm starting to believe in second chances. I just had a discussion with Kota not that long ago about it.
oddly enough, he's the first one who found out.
You didn't tell him on purpose, did you?
No. Remember when you came into, when we were in the Zalo's home Coruscant, thank you, on Coruscant, and you saw me holding him against the wall?
Oh, yes. I have not forgotten that.
That was why. He found out quite by accident, and we were in a stalemate of if we were going to kill each other or not. Kota's response was, of course, to blow everybody up, but...
Wasn't there some argument about the cup also?
Yes, he stole it from my family.
Ah.
He was bringing it to me as a way of comforting me because he could see that I was in distress about something.
I thought something seemed off about that, but I'm also not the greatest at reading social signs, so I had no idea.
Yeah, he thankfully has kept my secret, and it was only thanks to him talking with me about it that he convinced me to start telling people.
Well, I am glad for your honesty. And
It's
like I said,
strange.
I'm believing in second chances, so
Being honest about who I am is a new thing for me, so I wouldn't expect it all the time.
well, you're taking a good first step. And hey, if you need a reference when you're job hunting, you can put me down. I don't know if it'll do much good, but it's worth a shot.
Thank you.
Hi. Stumbled down on my lap.
Yeah, she'll now awkwardly hand the cat back to you.
I'm bringing her down so she can be fed and stretch her legs a little more. She's been cramped on the ship for so long. You want to walk down with me?
I mean, I'm going up first. And anyway, it would be awkward to just part here and then go in the same direction.
The cat talks! Well, I didn't know if you needed anything off the ship, so...
No, it was mainly so that I could let you know. I feel like most everyone should know. I don't intend to tell Gratis, and certainly not our two Jedi friends.
What about your
I'm
roommate?
not sure how they would respond. But
Did you hear me, Shayla?
no, I didn't.
I said, what about your roommate?
Well, I did stab you, so I still feel bad.
I think that is a wise choice to at least let most of us know. The Jedi and Gratis, I'm sure, can come in time, but that still is your choice.
I will never approach Gratis about this. This is not something he needs to be made aware of. Especially
That's fair,
considering
that's your
how
choice.
close. Well, he's a Sith. When this is all over, he's not going to join up with us. He's going to go back to his master.
You never know.
Well, having worked with Sith for 10 years, I think I have a better idea, but...
But have you worked with a Sith that is willing to put his life on the line for other people like Gratis has?
As a means to an end. Sith are deceptive and frighteningly patient sometimes when it comes to using other people to meet their own goals.
Fair enough.
I don't have great experiences with the Sith, and I'd rather keep as far away from him as possible.
Well, that's more experience than I have. Now, come
I
on.
hope you...
I'm getting hungry. Let's go eat. Maybe getting some food then you will help relieve your stress.
Or I might throw up all over everyone.
Let's not do that. The locals may see it as uncourteous.
To say the least.
And I'll start walking off the ship.
Robert will just kind of bend over, just... Okay.
I am a cat. I have no morals. I'll tell crap.
So, nothing else anyone wants to do before the banquet? Okay. Well, I've got one. After everything is set up and ready, Gratis is gonna... Actually, Shayla, is Spencer available?
They're taking care of a crying, angry baby right now.
Okay, I'll save that for later. Thank you, Joel. Alright, I'll save that for later then. So, the banquet starts. Asu only gives a very short speech. He seems eager to get it started.
Speech!
It's like, we, of course, want to welcome back home two of the village daughters, Nylana and Byra, who have returned upon the completion or the near completion of their respective missions, their quests. They were called by the Magina. And after 5 years, Nylana has returned. We also hold this feast in honor of the off-worlders who helped to bring her home safely. Nylana has told us of the bravery they exhibited while helping her in her quest. We are very grateful for that. I feared the worst when the people who came with her before returned and told us of what happened, but we're glad she's back. So let's go ahead and kick this party off. Let's get the food going. Come on, let's do it.
Let's start with some karaoke. No.
He's at a table sort of towards the front, kind of in an elevated platform.
Like a Hogwarts teacher table?
Yeah, kind of like a Hogwarts teacher table. But still that really low setting with the placemat and the cushions. I'd say that Byra and her family are up there as well. Yeah. Unless you want to be with your friends, but it's the seat of honor, really.
I mean, I think I would probably eat and then go sit with them.
Okay, yeah. So, and there is like an alcoholic beverage there that is, it seems more local. It's like, it's kind of sat in urns or jars. It's not like in fancy bottles like you would see. Not
like mason jars.
Not mason jars. They're not made of glass.
Oh,
no.
Well, like mason jars.
Sure, yeah.
It's not made of glass.
and same
energy.
Yeah. Same energy. And it's pretty decent stuff for those of you who drink. It's not super strong, but it's pretty decent.
What is it? What fruit is it made of?
I don't know. I kind of envision it because the village bread is very much a Japanese thing. I imagine it sort of as a sake, but that's my extent of Japanese alcohol.
Fermented rice juice.
Basically.
Nice.
It's really good.
Joel, thank you.
Yes, and Joel would know.
Joel, thank you for being here.
Thank you for your alcoholic knowledge.
Your expertise.
Depends on if it's a sweet or a dry sake, though.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the dry ones. I'm not really a sweet alcohol person.
It's a dry one. I trust his judgment more than my own.
Yeah, just a note for our audience. None of us, except for Joel, drink alcohol.
But Joel does. So, but also, it's getting to be sunset, and it is gorgeous. Like, you're at an altitude. You're at a pretty decent altitude where the clouds mostly rest beneath the village. So it's just this beautiful
bunch
outlook.
Of orange and reds.
Orange and reds, purples. Like it's just a gorgeous sunset. And music starts playing. They have local musicians. People start after eating. Food is great, by the way. Locally sourced, non-GMO, organic stuff.
DP is just sitting at his place, like food in front of him. Just
you don't have food because they do recognize. There are actually there are some droids here, but they're like very simple, like cleaning droids or waiting droids. Basically, gonk droids. Mm-hmm. Nothing as sophisticated as you are. And they don't give you food. They recognize that you
Yeah,
They
sit down
are
looking at
lesser
everyone
beings
else,
to you.
What did you
But
say?
they have
The droids are lesser beings to you.
so.
droid supremacy.
And eventually, after people stop eating, it starts to get into the conversations. People start to get up. Music starts playing. They start dancing. There's like a big bonfire in the center. Sweet wines are the best, Deathy. I'll take your word for it. At one point, Gratis, who's been very silent throughout all of this, stands up, kind of excuses himself, and then walks back towards the ship on one of the kind of the cliff sides, and just folds his hands behind his back and just kind of stares out over the cliffside at the sunset, while all the revelry is happening.
And the First Order theme is playing.
Yeah, I don't know why that's.
Is this foreshadowing?
So that's not foreboding at all.
This is still more
Stop
appropriate.
it.
Surprise! Roll for initiative.
Surprise, mother trucker.
Dakota was right.
I knew it!
You should have listened to the cell cat from the beginning.
Validation.
He was right.
Where is this podcaster?
Where's
Where did they come from?
Where's that
Hey,
voice?
tough.
Where did Sam come from?
Yes.
After Gratis gets up and leaves for a bit, I'm going to stand up and go join him by the cliffside.
Oh, hang on. Where's that card? Is it going through the
It's-
table legs, or is it?
No,
Nope, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna move this. It's better if I do my quiet voice for Gratis. So.
Your quiet voice.
I naturally when I do impressions, I sometimes just naturally get quieter, so it's more difficult for me to project.
No, you're fine.
Gratis. Just recite the Sith code and. Anyway,
I guess I'm just gonna kind of stand next to him, and I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to disrupt his meditative thinking, but I will stand with him
he
for.
He opens his eyes and just kind of looks over at you. Just starts to look back over the gorgeous sunset, and you can also see peeking through the tops of the clouds. You can see other mountainous peaks, other trees, and things like that. He says, "You should join your friends. This isn't an opportunity for you to miss."
Not really much of a reveler, so to speak. I don't really find myself very comfortable in these kinds of situations. While I don't dislike I think I'm more of an observer than a participator.
I can understand that.
Wow, our music got really dramatic just a second
That's what I was
ago.
about to say. I'm like, this music.
This is the Village Bride music.
Is it fun?
Yeah, function.
Sorry, watchers can't hear it.
Right.
Nope, copyright. Can't do it.
No Enya for you.
I'm gonna say. So, I guess after we find Black, you're probably going to leave us, huh? The end of your mission is coming nigh.
Yes, that is true. While we have this moment of peace, I am still ever aware of the oncoming storm. Once it is resolved, I will have to return to my master for what looms on the horizon.
Since you are leaving, and I don't even know what our future will hold at this, I wanted to say thank you for being with us. There are a lot of situations that we have been in that I don't think we could have made it out as easily without you there.
I have done what I could to support your actions. As I said, I am a different sort of Sith, but your help has also been greatly appreciated.
You all have proven yourselves to be quite worthy combatants, but also tactical in other situations as well. Except, of course, for Kota.
Calling you out.
I'll laugh. I'll chuckle a little bit at that, and um,
I feel
he's an
vindicated.
interesting character for sure.
But I will say that his tendency towards explosive situations did come in handy defending us from that rather dangerous apparition.
Yes. Was it difficult for you to fight a Sith Lord like that?
I have an unfortunate history of having to face off against some of my own kind before. To the death, even. It's not exactly a new experience. One of that power and magnitude was different.
I'm sorry.
It is the nature of the Sith. One that my master and I are trying to change. It's unsustainable in its current state.
Yes. Your addition to our group has been a curious one for me. You have changed me. You have changed the way I think about things. The ways that I approach the Force and the Jedi and myself. And I don't think you ever intended on doing any of that.
No, I did not. It was never my intention on changing anything. I simply saw an opportunity to gain allies in a situation that I found was outside of my own means of accomplishing. I have noticed a change in you and also in Asdapeus.
I have seen that as well. And while the Jedi have always been a part of me and will always be a part of me, I find myself less aligned with their ideals now.
How rather interesting.
Meeting you and learning from you and also from the Zalos, I have been able to see a wider worldview, not so limited by the facets of the Jedi code and the bureaucracy of the Jedi Order. There are parts of the Jedi that are valuable to me and will always be a part of who I am. But I am considering rescinding my membership in the Jedi Order.
That is certainly not the outcome I had expected. But to understand the great mystery, one must study all of its aspects.
And I think my perspective as a scholar and a historian has helped me gain a more critical worldview of the Jedi. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to join the Sith, though.
Well, that's unfortunate too. You detect you detect sarcasm in his voice, by the way. A little bit of jokingness. That's a word.
Just a bit of Sith humor.
A bit of Sith humor.
Yeah.
She will smile and say, I'm not exactly sure where my place in this world is, but I don't think anymore it is with the Jedi. Not that there's anything wrong with the Jedi Order per se.
Agree to
There are-
disagree.
Well, there are things wrong with the Jedi Order. I mean, there's things wrong with everything. That's kind of how existence is.
That is very true.
Yes. But I'm going to turn to face him and say,
He faces you as well.
how tall is he again? He's a lot taller than me, right? He's like...
Let me check. He
Like-
be 6 feet.
Okay.
He be
I'm
6
only
years
like-
old.
He's 6 years old. I'm just gonna kind of turn my gaze up towards him. And
From
I'm
behind
just
your
gonna,
blindfold.
yeah, because I don't have, eyes. But I'm just gonna say, you know that I don't see things the way that everyone else does. I see the way the Force flows through individuals. I see good in you, Lord Gratis. And you desire peace and balance in the Force. And you seek to understand the way that the Force works, and it impacts your life. And it impacts everything in existence. And the way that you and your master approach the world is so inherently filled with goodness and light. And I think you are capable of great things.
That may be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me in the last 25 years.
Oh,
so sad.
Hang on. How old is Gratis?
I don't remember. I don't know if we ever actually established how old he was.
Not 25 years. Let me 18 years.
So sad.
Wait, how old are you?
Like 19. I'm like a teenager.
Ow.
You're on the threshold of adulthood.
You guys are horrible people dragging a teenager through all of this.
Hey,
The Jedi did it.
I'm probably the worst one, so it's fine.
Hey, the clones are like 10 years old when they go into battle.
That's true.
Star Wars is full of sending kids to do adults' jobs.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna kind of blush a little bit, like that's not the response she was expecting.
What's your passive insight, by the way? Just passively.
He's full on like.
It would be, let's see, my passive insight would be 10 plus my insight.
Yes.
17.
17? Okay, yeah, just with that. He's very much like, with what he said, he was like, completely like, kept off guard. Like, you've said a couple of surprising things thus far. That was the most surprising thing to him.
She's gonna kind of like not really know how to respond. But she's just gonna say, well, you needed to hear it, I think. And I wanted to say it because you are capable of goodness and light. And if you ever want to be more than what you are now, I will always help you.
That is a very kind offer. I would extend the same. You have great potential and great wisdom. And there is so much that you could achieve.
Wish you and your master the best in all that you do. With your missions going forward and your efforts to bring balance to the Sith. Can you get the door really quick? I don't know who's knocking on our door. Is it Joel?
I don't know.
I don't think it would be Joel.
No.
He just walks right in. He doesn't knock.
Could be the cookie
You
man.
guys order cookies?
Yes, we did. I guess that's the cookies.
Probably cookies then.
That's hilarious.
Cookie monster.
It's like Joel just walks right in. He doesn't knock. So
That's the point.
that's me.
He considers for a second. Can't really see it on camera. He considers for a minute. You know, I would say, in a way, I am relieved to hear that you are considering departing from the Jedi. It means the likelihood of us meeting on the field of battle is substantially lessened.
That is true.
I consider all of you to be great allies. Ones perhaps I wouldn't mind calling upon again in the future, should the occasion call for it. But who knows where the Force will take us next?
The
Insight check, even Coda.
I can't speak for the rest of them, but I know that everyone has become fairly fond of you, and they enjoy having you with us for the most part. I'm going to exclude the obvious dissenters to that opinion. But she's just kind of gonna smile and extend her hand and just like handshake.
He returns the handshake.
I'm just gonna hold his hand for a second, and then I'm going to bend down and just kiss his knuckles. And then just kind of turn and return back to the party.
Gratis isn't really sure what to do with that one.
I would imagine not.
He's never washing.
Looks at his
He considers for a second and then just resumes his dramatic brooding.
Dramatic brooding, I love it.
It's that classic edgelord.
He is a classic edgelord, honestly.
Let's move this back into position there.
Are we still feasting?
It's getting more to the revelry part. Like, some people are eating slower than others, but a lot of people are starting to dance now. There's music playing. There's a good time happening.
You know,
Are there games?
Yeah, there's little games. There's cornhole.
DP is playing
Yeah.
cornhole.
There's cornhole. There's golf shoes. There's
Yeah, that's
or the Star Wars equivalent.
that's on brand.
Yeah.
Coda is drinking.
Okay. How heavily?
Not heavily at first, but then it grows into heavily.
Okay.
Um,
think anybody heard that.
What happened? What did you say?
I said we could play Pin the Tail of the Donkey, and Lindsay's like, Mary, I can't play that game. Antop can't play that game, sorry.
Cheats.
Yeah,
she can
Antop
see it.
cheats. She's already blindfolded and can see.
Wait, why can't I play that
She
game?
meant Aetov.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I misspoke.
No, you're good. You're good.
I looked down at my notes and saw your name and then looked up, so that's, yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Can we see Gratis from the where we're sitting, where
Yeah.
we're drinking?
Yeah.
Into his I'd say about 10th drink.
Oh.
Is Coach
Depending on how big the cup is.
They're,
Oh
I
my
imagine small, but
they're about this big.
okay. So probably less than that, but
Not terribly big.
Coda at this point is going to go up to DP and whoever's near DP and just go and just like take him by, like, I would say by the shoulder, but by the waist would be more accurate because you're tall, I imagine.
You tall, you small.
Yes, I'm either 6 foot or 6 foot.
Yeah,
6.
waist.
I don't know which one I wrote. But
Oh.
6 foot.
He's tall.
And I'm just like with cup in hand, I'm gonna be like,
Do you see that guy over there? That suave bastard.
I see no illegitimate child.
He has the gall to be so cool. I'm never gonna say this to him. But when he does the spin with his lightsaber, I mean, how much cooler can you get?
And then this is what Obi-Wan Kenobi did after Maul killed Qui-Gon.
Again, never saying this to that jerk who doesn't listen to me. Probably because I threaten him every day.
What child do you threaten? Spin?
That one!
You just point to Gratis.
It's not going with the
You don't know the wedding. You don't know the marital status.
Right. I have to say, if I ever saw him on the field of battle, and we weren't allies, I'd run away. Because I don't want to hurt him. Not really.
Aww.
But
He
at
does
the
have a
same
heart.
time, if he heard that, I'd punch him in the stomach.
Can you reach?
Oh my goodness.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Gratis doesn't have a very good perception.
Is Miria hearing any of this?
Everyone
Okay.
except Gratis. You're like in the middle of the party.
I'm not trying to be quiet.
Exactly.
His
Gratis
inhibitions
is
are gone at this
terrible
point.
Perception, though.
See, Miria's kind of sitting there being like, okay,
I'm
all right.
I'm just
Accepting
dropping
it.
my head. I'm just like,
Look at him.
Your father looks at you with like,
don't ask. Don't ask. It's
Kota,
not
I'm
worth the
most
brain
curious
cells.
Yes, DP.
why Gratis told you he was an illegitimate child.
yeah, keep this rolling. Keep it rolling.
You know, I think it's because he knows I'm very honest and trusting. Wait, did you say illegitimate?
That's what you said.
That's not what I said bastard.
Exactly.
This is the stuff Star Wars.
Out of everyone, I find it hard to believe that he would trust you enough to admit that.
Of course he trusts me. That's why he didn't go in my explosion when I told him to.
Sure, that's how that works.
Okay.
Kota, do you know what the bastard is?
Yes, I do. It's him.
Miria's not gonna try and explain. She's having too much fun listening to this.
If he would let me use his lightsaber, I'd be the happiest fish in the sea.
Have you asked him?
No, I'm too afraid he'll say no.
Well, he did tell you he was a bastard.
Yes.
There are two conversations happening.
So maybe there is a chance.
Oh
I'm gonna go ask him.
Oh, do it!
I'm gonna go up to Gratis.
no! Oh no!
Oh no!
He turns around slowly.
I'm just like
The whole party, like the entire
We're all.
Everyone's
everyone is.
I
We're about to watch someone die.
I get up. Coda
DP was no help at all.
I'm close at hand because I'm like, please don't. mess
Coda
this
gets up to Gratis and he's like tightens his whatever I don't want to say he's wearing a uniform, but he's wearing he tightens up his attire and he tries to look not drunk.
His clean shirt. May I help you?
Yes. Gratis.
I'm just hiding in the bushes. I'm just like,
You don't need to. You can hear this from. I'm not being quiet.
I know, but I'm just hiding.
She doesn't want
You're
to.
about 100 feet off, I'd say.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere in there. You're distant yourself.
I'm like, sorry, parents, but I gotta
Aqua
gotta
says we're
take-
dying.
I'm gonna go embarrass over here.
What exactly can I help you with, Mr. Kota?
You fight good.
Thank you.
And it's for that reason I want to spin your lightsaber.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
So help me, Paul.
Please.
Which dice do I use?
Do you have?
They'll all betray me.
But do you have inspiration?
Sounded like an innuendo.
Yes, say please
I don't know if I.
Yes, I
Oh my gosh.
All right.
do. Because
That's
I'm
the
from a
one.
blue planet.
Be a 3.
14. Can I do better?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's a negative one. Inspiration. Let's go. No!
Dang it.
13.
13. Did you just hiccup?
Yeah.
He's drunk.
Perfect.
He looks at you.
I promise I won't kill you.
He reaches behind, and he pulls out something. He doesn't pull out his lightsaber, but
Grabs a stick.
Here, spin
Oh.
this.
but he holds up a kyber crystal.
I believe you've been wanting one of these.
That's not a lightsaber.
If I'm not mistaken, you have a most
no.
indestructible fortress.
Why?
Oh, it's right here.
How about I give this to you to complete that which you've been desiring for?
Deal.
And you agree to not kill me with an explosion?
I don't think I could if I tried.
Acceptable.
Toss it.
You may want to. May I see that?
Yes.
He kind of disassembles it.
The Matrix is inverted.
Exactly. He sees that. He flips it around.
Me too.
Fixed it for you.
Thank you. Not that I needed it.
Maria's in shock right now.
I'm just mouth open.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
He'll go into his. This is his mindset. He gives him 3,000 credits.
He doesn't accept.
I would.
Plus, it's all on a credit chip.
Thank you.
No, no, no. I have less of a need for it than you do, my friend.
Okay.
He turns around.
Steal. The gambling fish strikes again.
He looks over. You can see Gratis. Like, you guys are always away, but you can see his head turn slightly, looking at the rest of you, and like.
We're all just like dumbfounded, I think.
And actually, you feel something. You feel a hand on your back as he's up beside you. He's like,
Why don't we return to the party?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. You're not drunk enough for this conversation.
Agree to disagree.
and he starts pushing. Like, you feel. I don't know if you really register what he's doing, but he's
No, he doesn't.
very leading you back to the party with making sure you don't fall over.
This is the greatest thing that has happened.
Oh my gosh.
I walk in after them.
Credits, have I told you I hated you today?
No, but I think I needed to hear it.
Okay.
If it's
This is the start of a beautiful friendship.
I'm just gonna walk back to my parents. and be
Unlikely friend.
crisis averted. We're
Your
okay.
father's like, are you quite sure?
No.
Do you have your grenade belt on you?
Yes,
Okay.
always.
Your father's just like looking at the grenades.
Keep them in check.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Gratis takes a couple of drinks with you. Not a lot, but a couple.
He's gonna like continually like off like almost shove it in his face. throughout the entire night.
There's another one.
Make a perception check.
Until he falls over drunk himself.
Okay, well, make a perception check at disadvantage real quick.
Oh my god.
Is he just taking the drinks and like chucking him over his shoulder?
Yeah. Doing the Kronk thing where he's like.
I rolled an 18 and a 14, so 16.
Okay. Right before you pass out, you do notice that Gratis is actually just dumping it behind his head.
Yes.
But then you pass out.
Yeah, you.
Gratis. It's everybody else.
What's that?
I said gratis, and then everybody else. That is just all this moment is.
At the point he passes out, DP will gather him and tuck him into bed.
Gratis will help you.
Aw.
He says, I feel partially.
He's a good wingman.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I would have known he was drunk. In that, no one said anything until he said it. Like, oh. Yeah.
That's the pass. You've been quiet. What have you been up to?
Oh my gosh.
Is there a place? Okay. Is there a place where I can kind of go by myself? Like, because you know how Gratis kind of went off?
Yeah.
Like, somewhere but where I can keep watching the party.
Yeah, there's a little, like,
Even like not like an overlook or something, just kind of where I can just kind of watch
Like
and
a
be by
balcony.
myself.
I can think of the layout. There is a little ways off. There's some homes over there. You know, like I said, there's some tucked away in the trees, but everyone's here right now.
Yeah.
And you do see there's a little grove over there, like a clearing.
Mhm.
And you're able to go over there, and you can still keep an eye on the party over there.
I'm just gonna be there watching the party.
Okay.
I'm not like doing anything else. I'm just literally just watching the party.
Okay. While you're over there, like I mentioned, you feel that the force is very strong with this planet, and again, it is that sort of near perfect balance. There is sort of a leaning towards the light because these are very happy, very peaceful people, but the planet itself, there does not seem to be a disturbance in the natural flow of things. Whereas, you know, civilization or any sort of major man-made disruption might overturn that balance. This planet has very little of that. And if that's all you're doing, you know, that's kind of the vibe you get.
Oh yeah, for now, for at least the first part of the party, I'll stay there.
Okay.
So we'll see in a minute.
So
The dinner part or the revelry part?
The revel. I'll stay for dinner and do
you-
that. But
you
then
ain't
once
there.
things kind of like, it's the party. Everybody's.
So DP 52 and Gratis tuck Coda back into bed on the ship.
Very lovingly.
Very carefully.
Taking his grenade belt off.
I picture he like gets into bed and kind of out of habit just starts sucking his thumb.
No, he just crawls out.
Gratis,
Aw, you don't suck
Gratis,
his thumb?
No.
Gratis takes the lightsaber that Coda had, places it, like, because there's, like I said, there's a shelf next to the bed. He just places it there. I hope I don't live to regret this.
I hope we all don't. Sorry. Yeah, right. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it.
I hope we all live to not regret this.
It feels weird.
Okay.
Likewise, I hope we all live.
Well, let us return.
Yes.
Return to the party. Anything else?
Yes. One more conversation.
Sure, go ahead.
Robbery is going to, at some point, try to pull Byra aside.
Okay. You can do
So
that.
you haven't told the Jedi yet.
Nope, I haven't told the Jedi anything.
Okay.
I feel just approaching and Byra, I don't want to pull you away from your family, especially when you've been gone for so long, but
That's
I
fine.
need to have a conversation with you.
Okay. I did see I bumped the camera there.
What's up?
Can we talk a little more privately?
Yeah, we can just go up.
We don't have to go far, just like,
You
No.
go up. You take her towards like the main, kind of like pavilion, like where the like town meetings or town gatherings.
Yeah.
Because you're not there, you're outside right now, but there's no one up there, so you can go up there and just kind of be not too far away.
We can still see everybody.
At the beginning all of this, you sensed some of my nightmares.
Yeah, I got a experience with that too.
I'm still so sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's a result of not just trauma, but also training. I think, I have talked to most of our friends about this, and for some reason it doesn't get any easier anytime I say it.
You're worrying me.
I, up until recently, very recently, worked as a spy for the Imperial Intelligence.
Oh.
I wasn't planning on saying anything to anyone. But then Code found out. And honestly, getting him to not say anything to anyone was my biggest concern. But thankfully, he let me approach everyone.
That's good.
The only ones who don't know are Aetof, Asdapeus, and Gratis. And I would like to keep it that way, seeing as how Gratis is a Sith and the other two are Jedi. And, I would just rather not mess with that.
Before you continue, I'm getting a little curious because you mentioned Coda knew first. I know he probably wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna search to make sure there's no bombs on you. Like there's no like I'm just gonna be like
And then be like, okay.
I'm just like I don't want him to like I trust him, but
Trust but verify.
yeah. I'm like was he thorough? Sorry.
That's actually a legit concern I didn't think about, and now I'm a little nervous.
Just like set a bottom on you.
But everybody else knows.
Okay.
The reason why I am coming forward with this is because right before the Hutt's birthday party, I had a rather concerning conversation with my handler, and it didn't go well for me. And I'm afraid he might be sending someone after me. I don't know if or when that will happen, but I'm afraid it will put everyone in danger, and I figured you should know. Especially now that you're home with your family.
Yeah.
I don't want to take you away from that. I was away from my family for 10 years, and it has taken a toll.
Yeah, when my mom left, I always had this feeling that she would always come back, but then I'd be waiting like year after year, and here it is, it's been 5 years. After probably the third year, I just kind of dropped it and felt that she would never come back. But I mean, yeah, it's half of the 10 years that you were gone from your family, but no matter how long a family member is away, it feels longer than it feels like it is. But my mom is gonna be here. I always knew that my mission would be a little bit more than I thought it would, and I definitely wasn't expecting my mom to show up just out of the blue. Even though I was
quite a shock to watch that.
Yeah. Even though I was unconscious. But you know, I've grown up a lot in the past couple months, and you know, I'm ready to take on anything. And my parents, I talked to them before dinner and told them, you know, I don't know where my place is right now. It's too big of a decision to make right now. I think, you know, after certain things have settled down, I think that's when I would make that decision. If what you say is true, that people are coming after you, yes, family comes first, but I've got my family now. You know, I care about every one of you. So, count me in.
Thank you. Even though everyone has expressed the same sentiment, it's still a bit of a shock to hear it.
Yeah.
I haven't trusted anyone in a very long time.
I'll just hug her. I'll just hug you.
Kind of awkwardly returns the
hug. And I'll just step back and say, you know, trust is always the most toughest thing to gain. But it's also it's also the quickest thing to lose. But what you did and telling me, I think that's a huge step. That's a huge step. And the fact that you've told some of the others the same thing, and you're not singed. I mean, I think that's a huge sign.
I mean, Dex did threaten that if I ever did anything to hurt any of you, he would shoot me, and I do believe he would kill me.
That's on brand. That's
I don't blame him. Honestly, I would thank him.
Yeah.
I just figured you should know before this goes any further, because I don't want you to leave your family with anything unsaid or any regrets, because I did.
Yeah, thank you.
It's at this point that SW5e walks up to you two.
Oh.
Having been recently wandering around from his secluded position, he has noticed you two talking and just decides to approach.
Hello.
Hi. I'm so sorry. Am I interrupting?
No.
No.
Thank you for listening to me, Byra.
Yeah, no problem. I will just leave the room.
Peace out. And
He's
Robert
just
kind of
like-
looks around like, where do I go?
Is kind of like looking back and forth, like like did I miss something? Is everything all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Just
I'm just gonna cartwheel back.
You come back?
She goes back to the party.
Oh, back to the party. Okay.
just making sure she doesn't leave anything unsaid before possibly leaving with us again.
Oh. Can I tell how Ravery's feeling?
Sure, roll an insight check and an advantage because I believe you have it for emotions.
I do.
Dang it, I forgot you could do that!
Really good. That's
Do you
what's
have
like.
it-
That's
do you
what-
have,
I do have an inspiration.
Deception.
It's a 16.
Okay.
So I won't use it. I won't use it yet.
Roll deception since you are actively trying to hide things from your Jedi friends.
What is my okay?
So what is that?
That's a 10.
How are you feeling right now?
How are you feeling right now? Very tentatively stressed out and very worried, just anxious as heck and scared.
You seem worried, Ravery. You seem is something the matter?
Just thinking about future events.
Just kind of like, I understand that. I'm doing the same. That's why I'm here. I hope I'm not making any of that harder. I'm sorry I kind of stumbled in and interrupted you.
No, you're fine. Most of what I wanted to say was already said, so.
Well, that's a relief then. Are you going to be returning to the party?
I don't think so. I've got too much on my mind to really relax at the moment.
Is there anything I can help you with? Like with my great Jedi knowledge? And kind of like wink.
She just kind of chuckles. Just things are going to possibly get very, very bad soon. And I was just making sure that if Byra is going to continue with us, to not leave anything unsaid to her family.
Makes sense.
I know what it's like to leave family with regrets. Just don't want her to repeat my mistake.
Kind of nod and just leave a few, like a silent for just like maybe 20-30 seconds.
It's a long
It's just awkward.
Just kind of this awkward, like he's just kind of like, you can see him kind of like thinking. Ravery, what's it like?
Pardon?
What's it like to have a family?
Alex. Oh
Like Robbery looks a little confused. And then just slowly just oh. It it's wonderful. Knowing that no matter what, there's always someone to go back to. There's always someone thinking of you, hoping for you to return. As far as siblings go, I think I got the best one. Of course, there are disagreements and bad feelings sometimes, but at the end of the day, you always know that they love you, at least in my experience. I know that not everybody has the same experience with family. But I had a good one.
Your family was a delight. You're great people.
Thank you. I regret a lot about not being there for them. Knowing now what happened to them in the past 10 years, everything that maybe could have been avoided or I could have helped with. Could have spared suffering or given comfort or something. I don't know. It's just. There's a lot of regret that I've had being gone from them.
Are you glad you found your way back to them?
I'm at least glad I got to see them. I'm not certain what's going to happen next, but I think my biggest fear right now is not being able to talk with them again.
Well, no matter what happens, we'll make sure to get you back there, okay?
Thank you. What's it like growing up with the Jedi?
It was good. At least we had our needs met. It's always our training. My master is one of the best. But never really had much of a family experience like you. Like looking out at the party tonight, I don't have that.
Can we give this fish a hug?
I mean, this group is.
Put a hand on his shoulder.
This group is the closest I've had, but my own like flesh and blood, I don't know.
Are there no records of where you came from?
I don't know.
Roll a lore check for me.
12.
Could be. The Jedi would have records, and they're pretty extensive. You know, the Jedi keep extensive records.
Yes.
It's very likely that they would have something. And you have like vague recollections of your family, kind of like they established in Obi-Wan, like just
Like
the
it's just-
vaguest of vague
mhm.
memories, nothing specific.
I imagine there are records. Somebody has them. It might be a little trickier to get them now.
It doesn't seem very much like the Jedi to just take children from their families without having some sort of contact information, at least.
Incentive release form.
Robert doesn't know. Robert's been with the Imperials, so she wouldn't know.
You know.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day I can find that out. And we'll see where my path takes me. Might be a little tricky now, but I'll be able to hopefully find my way back. But until then, we'll see what happens.
What if you don't like what you find?
It's better than not knowing.
I suppose. Feeling them. I hope it's good for you.
I'll make sure and report to you. Anyways, I'm sorry for the interruption. I know you have enough on your mind. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just I guess it's just in my nature to constantly be in a state of anxiety and nerves.
I can understand that. But hopefully things work out in your favor as well.
Thank you.
We'll do what we can to protect you, okay?
I will do my best to make sure you don't need to protect me. I'm not used to always being in the limelight. My skill set is to usually stay back and observe.
You probably know more than anybody in our group.
I'd say Dex probably does.
That's fair. He's an observant one.
Yes, he is.
But thank you for your kindness.
He'll kind of like bow and be like, thank you for yours. Thank you for being part of my eclectic little family. Shall we head back to the party?
See, she seems to be wrestling with something. Like she wants to say, like she wants to tell you something, but isn't quite sure if she should.
What could that
be?
Thank you for being so loyal in our. Just
In the heart.
I feel like Bagheera from Jungle Book. Go on. Go on.
Come back. Come back.
Oh, wait.
Or, no, Blue was the one that said go on. That's
no,
right.
You're right.
Yeah.
It was Bagheera.
Oh, was it? Was it?
We
Was it?
wanted him to come back.
You'll see. I'll be like, do you need a drink? Do you need to sit down? Is everything okay?
You know, a drink might help. Asdepaeus, what if you find your family and you found out that one of your family members was, a less than good person, had done some terrible things, but was attempting to make things right. What'd you do?
Going towards the future is much more important than the one going to the past. If they're going forward, then I guess I can overlook the times they went backwards.
What was really bad? What if you found out that they had hurt good people?
That would be something that.
What if you knew that
Hopefully,
they?
What was that?
What if you knew they had murdered for the sake of a job?
There we go. I knew you'd say
Yeah.
that.
I've been having this conversation with a knee.
Oh, look at that knee.
That would be things we'd have to discuss, but like I said before, it's the progress forward. Communication is most important.
She starts to pace in circles. And you can hear her muttering to herself, but it's all in Zabraki, so you can't understand it unless you speak it.
Fun fact, I speak. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding. I don't.
Come on, man.
But Mr. Alvary, do you need a moment? I think I say something I shouldn't have?
No, give me a minute. She's just again, just nervously pacing and just wringing her hands and just pulling on her hair, just. Then she just slowly looks at you. Can I have your word that you won't kill me?
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's how we're going without this.
Roll for initiative.
Ah!
I'm gonna die.
Escalated.
Just gotta start reaching towards this lightsaber. Are you planning on killing me?
No, nothing like that.
Then we're fine.
This is a bit awkward. I wasn't planning on telling you. What are your feelings and thoughts about the Imperials? How do you feel about the Empire?
Of course.
Loathe
Yeah.
them.
Seething loathing and hate.
We get everywhere.
Gratis goes.
It's like the bat signal for Gravis.
I'm sorry. Did I hear
His nose just starts itching.
Why do my ears burn?
That's kind of a big question, isn't it?
I guess, especially coming from the Jedi. Her hands are shaking as she's trying to talk to you and just timidly looks up at you. I am not what I portray. Her voice changes. For the past 10 years, I have worked as a spy for Imperial intelligence. And that is why I was away from home. And quite recently, I have made an attempt to cut ties with that side of my life. But I'm afraid it has come to it has come looking for me, so to speak. I had a conversation with my handler that didn't go well, and I'm afraid he might be sending someone after me, and it might put all of you in danger. She just kind of like awkwardly looks around, like, say something.
He's just looking at her for a minute, just thinking. How long since this happened?
My decision to leave was solidified when I saw my family on Alderaan. I had already had concerns about leaving and wanting to get out, but the training that I underwent kind of leaves you feeling helpless when you think about leaving the Empire. But it wasn't until right before the birthday party for the hut that I basically quit.
So, very recently.
Yes. I wasn't planning on telling you. Or Aetoff. Certainly not gratis.
Why not?
He's a Sith. And he reports directly to his master, who, if knowing a member of Imperial intelligence is defecting, I don't imagine that they would let me go with the knowledge that I have. I'm too much of a liability. I know too much, so I'm best eliminated before I can tell the Republic what I know.
Have you spoken with Gratis before?
Unintentionally.
I'm sure he can help you more than you think. He's more of a
I mean,
help than a hindrance, but I respect your decision.
He did give me some rather unexpectedly good advice the other day. It was not too shocking, but it did help. But being around the Sith, just... Her hands are shaking pretty bad at this point. I can't be around the Sith. I just can't.
Can I cast calm emotions first? What level is that? It's.
Do you have it?
I think I do.
Do you have it?
I just don't remember what level it is.
Lindsay, what level is Calm Emotions? You
No.
cast it a lot.
Oh, jeez.
First,
level?
second,
First,
I think
okay.
actually. Second.
First level.
It's easier to cast than
Okay.
clam emotions.
Oh, stay clam, stay clam.
Stay clam. Oh, she's
I
got
should-
clammy hands.
Just turn them into a clam. I think it's second level.
It is the
Clam
second
emotions
level.
feels
Second
like
level.
Tasha's hideous laugh.
Yeah, I don't currently have it prepared. Like, I got new spells, and I have like 20 spells.
Oh,
So I had to
jeez.
go through and pick all my spells now.
I do.
So,
So yeah.
Yeah, second level.
yeah, I don't think I have it prepared right now.
That's
Calm
okay.
emotions on her just to
Okay.
kind of
I
help
should
her.
have prepared it. I mean, I did know we were going to be going into this like heavy role playing session. Maybe I should have prepared it.
I know. I'm kind of glad I did. I don't usually so I'm like,
Cast Calm Emotions on Robbery.
yeah, just help her calm down a little bit.
You're used to the feeling, Robbery.
I let it happen. Her hands are still shaking a little bit, but she does seem a lot calmer.
Do you think everyone that holds a lightsaber is just bloodthirsty? Do you think they're all just divided by lines?
In my line of work, that is all I am taught. That is all I am meant to believe.
Do I seem that way to you?
Certainly not.
Aotar.
Does Aotoff?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't had very many interactions with her, but it's always been positive. I've never thought of her as an enemy or someone I should fear. I mean, other than the fact that I don't normally tell people that I work as a spy. Worked, I suppose now.
I respect your decision in not telling or telling whoever you choose, but just know that no matter who you tell, no matter who you tell, we know you. So, do you know who's coming after you?
Honestly, I don't know. It could be one individual, it could be many. I honestly don't know what Watcher intends to do. But either way, if he does manage to get a hold of me, it won't be good, and I will not survive it.
Well, good thing you have 9 of the best fighters in the galaxy on your side, okay?
Thank you.
We'll make sure that doesn't happen, okay?
I hope not. Trusting people is a little new for me.
It'll come with time.
Thank you. She looks extremely exhausted and just drained.
How about we get you a drink and then back on the ship? You need some time for yourself.
No, I
okay?
think that's a good idea.
Let's go. Let's head back. And as they start to turn, he'll kind of stop and like put her hand on her shoulder and just say, "Thank you."
Thank you for being so honest.
You guys want to know something funny? So you guys walk back towards the party. Gratis and Aetop both rolled natural 20s on perception.
Oh,
And they are staring right at you. Like they're kind of they're sitting down, kind of laying next to each other, just looking right at you two.
Did they hear anything or just
No,
watch us?
like,
They're just seeing us like.
you're a bit
'Cause
ways
yeah,
away, but
yeah.
you start walking back, and they are just both looking right at you two.
Oh no!
I stopped dead in my tracks and I immediately looked terrified.
Does she still have the effects of calm emotions on her? How long does that last?
I don't know how long.
Duration up to 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
fast.
it's
I just
gone.
wanted, yeah.
Robbery legit looks like she's gonna take off running. She looks absolutely terrified.
He's gonna kind of. So where are Aetop and Crowd?
That's what that roll was. I rolled a natural 20.
I was like, you're rolling and you're typing away, and I'm like, something's going down. I'm not aware of it. Robbery's not paying attention. Shoot!
I did not intend for that conversation to go that direction. So
I don't think any of us did.
Nope.
So,
This is the second time I've been snuck up on, revealing sensitive information.
Well, we can't hear you,
You're not
but
very good at this spy
They didn't
thing.
hear anything, but they're both very
No.
aware that this appears to be a very tense conversation, and it went on for a while.
I do.
Gratis
yeah,
makes
it
no-
was a very
Gratis makes-
long conversation.
Gratis makes no movement to get up. He's just kind of looking at you guys.
Just like right in the way of the ship.
Well, no, but the way I'm imagining this, so the ship is like way back on the cliffside.
Mhm.
The main party is gathered like maybe 100 feet away in the middle of the village square, and where Byra and Ravi went up was like maybe 50 to 60 feet up the hill a little bit towards the main like pavilion, and then you wandered up there. So there's still a ways away that they couldn't hear it.
They just could kind of see us
you
talking.
are sort of in the way of the ship, but you could go around. But you figure you're not avoiding them at this point. Like they're both fully aware that this has been happening. Grash just kind of sits there, kind of stoic, expressionless, just more curious as to what's going on than anything.
It's just like their tracks, and
I mean, Aetop
Just-
kind of has like kind of just like a blank, a kind of just, I don't know, blank expression. Plus, like with her blindfolded, it's kind of difficult.
Bless you.
So, but
Yes, you again.
it was definitely her attention is definitely directed towards the two of you.
He turns to Aetop and says, "If you would like to speak to them, you may go."
I don't know if they will say anything.
as to pay us feel a spike of overwhelming fear.
That's-
Since you are so attuned to emotion.
That is between you and them. I feel as though I will not be welcome in this conversation. The rest of you may talk as you like.
I'm gonna laugh if Aetop is just gonna come up to them and say, like, I'm leaving the Jedi Order. And, like, full on, like, confesses her thing.
So Gratis then actually he does get up, but he turns the opposite direction, walks back towards the rest of the party. And you see he clinks cups with the old lady who was berating him earlier.
I love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He would.
As they kind of, as he's walking away, he'll kind of like put a hand on Rovery's shoulder, kind of like not trying to, because he can tell she's freaking out,
Right.
to kind of push her, not like back the other direction, but kind of just turn.
Yeah.
And like
He will
link eyes with Aetop and be like,
Link eyes as much as
or, you know what? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But you know what I mean? Just kind of be like with my other hand, just like behind, like so Rovery can't really see, and just be like,
As,
kind of
as
be
you
like,
touch
it's fine, like it's okay.
noticeably, like, super flinches, just like shock and just like, oh my gosh, don't touch me kind of a thing, just freaked out, just on high alert.
He'll just kind of.
And then she'll just like beeline it.
Make sure your hand motion's there on the camera so they can see it too.
Yeah,
I
he'll
don't know
just.
if they.
Oh yeah, I don't know. A guy basically said like keep her on the back and then kind of like give her kind of the thumb like it's okay, like it's not.
Toph is just gonna like raise her eyebrows at you, kind of just be like,
She does have those.
That's true.
I do have eyebrows. No, but she's just gonna kind of raise her eyebrows at you and then just kind of keep an eye on the two of you. I mean, are you staying together? Or are you?
No, she's like booking it away and just like goes off to like, somewhere secluded and just like trying not to puke.
And he'll
Okay,
just let her
well-
kind of go do. He's not gonna like follow her and be like duh. Like he's just gonna kind of let her do her thing.
Well, I was gonna go up to Asclepius once he's by himself.
No. That wasn't. I just wanted to talk about my family.
I was planning on you.
Didn't you do this earlier?
Oh, I see it.
It's coming back to me.
I'm just gonna kind of come up to you and do we need to talk about what just happened?
Naughty, naughty.
Which part? There's a lot that's been going on.
What are we talking about?
You know what part, Asclepius.
You can't deflect this.
Remind me, what's your charisma?
We're not gonna talk about my charisma.
We're gonna talk about my charisma.
No, everything's fine. Tensions are just a little high for what's coming up in the future. So
It's not a lie.
Remember, you're
I'm
talking
gonna
to the
have
person
truth.
with the highest insight.
I know.
I mean, my passive insight is a 17. So
Yeah, she's just like
You
lying.
can tell that he's not lying completely. It's a half truth.
I'm gonna kind of gesture towards the direction of where Rovry went, and I'm just gonna say, what the hell was that? She looks like she was about to pass out.
Well, you are correct about that part. She was about to pass out. Yes. Yeah. She's
She's just gonna stand there waiting for an explanation.
You just hear silent screaming from the middle of nowhere.
How do you hear silent screaming?
I just picture the little screaming mice in the desert. Like, ah! Like in the distance.
Like Markiplier on Phasmophobia.
She's just gonna stand there with her arms folded just in front of you.
Mama
like-
ate it off.
I know. He's just like.
Scolding mom pose.
What just happened? What is... I know that you're probably trying to protect her, but if this is something that we all need to know about, we're going into a very dangerous situation. Is she going to put us all at risk? Or are you keeping whatever secret she wants you to keep?
Not necessarily. But I would, if you can, find a chance to talk with her. Things aren't my place to say whether she explains things or not. It's her path to follow, but I think nerves are just getting the best of her.
Oh, why?
Again, half truths.
Asclepius, I really want to trust you, and I really want to trust Rovry. I but I'm worried. I have been worried about her for a long time. She never seems comfortable around anyone. She's 100% terrified of Gratis. She will not tell anyone anything. And now to see her react like that? So I'm probably the last person in the world that she will ever talk to.
Second to last. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Were you thinking? No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't say that. I promise. I was just thinking.
No. Two idiots. that's the vibes that just gave me.
So, if she comes to me and tells me of her own free will, that's fine. But if it puts us in danger, because obviously she's keeping something from me, because you are a loyal person and will not share that secret, which is admirable. It's admirable, and I would want you to keep a secret if I shared one with you.
Admirable but stupid.
I could feel the rage, just the heat, like.
I feel your frustration.
She's just gonna kind of shake her head.
Yeah. What emotions is Aetop feeling right now? Because this is something as the Payas would recognize too.
That's true.
She's definitely frustrated and a little bit angry. Which is not really something you often see from her, really. She's normally pretty level-headed, but you can kind of see that, like, I mean, I guess you probably have a pretty high insight, so, like, you can kind of tell that the idea of secrets being kept or a potential, like, betrayal of trust kind of seems to have rubbed her the wrong way. Like, not what you normally have seen from her. She's just gonna kind of let out a sigh and shake her head and say, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't really know what to do now. So I'm just going to enjoy what remains of this evening and prepare for the future we have ahead of us.
Kind of nod, and then we are on your side, Aetop. That hasn't changed.
She'll just kind of not really say anything, but just kind of give a little nod and turn back towards the party.
As she's kind of walking away before she stops, or before she gets too far, he'll just be like, Aetop.
And she'll stop, but she won't turn around.
We all have enough we're dealing with right now, and I know you want to know, but we don't need to be digging up the past, especially robberies. She doesn't need to look back on that. I'm sure she'll tell you eventually, but right now, she doesn't want to look back at that, okay?
She's gonna say, without turning around, she's gonna say, I am intuitive enough to know that she probably told Byra and you. Because I know she was talking with Byra before.
I mean,
So-
I do know that part. I don't know what she told her. I stumbled upon them on accident. I don't know what happened with them.
Can say the fact that we don't know about her past makes me fear what the implication of this would be. And she's just gonna keep going forward.
Just gonna let her go.
I feel great.
What you get for specifically choosing to not tell the three most intuitive people of your group something?
You know, she had her reason.
No, Gratis ain't
I
that
know,
intuitive.
but
Gratis really ain't that intuitive. However, speaking,
true, he probably doesn't have a super high wisdom.
he does not. But I'll tell you what he does have. He has a pretty decent performance check.
Has he ever sing karaoke?
No. There's been some music playing, and some of the musicians have gone to bed, but in speaking with them, you now see Gratis has picked up a clue horn, which is essentially a saxophone, and is now delivering a pretty dang good performance on it. He's not doing Careless Whisper, but just like this...
This is Asu?
Asu? No, it's Gratis.
Gratis.
No, it's Gratis.
Yeah, just
Sorry.
delivering a very, like, kind of somber, slow
Dang.
jazz-ish melody.
Kenny
and,
G.
And
Wow.
the other musicians are just kind of like joining in on it. It's just kind of mellow and chill. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Single-handedly.
Modify 20 on his performance.
That's awesome. I love it.
Dang, dude.
Aetop will definitely sit and listen to the music for a while after her conversation with Aztepeus.
He
You
planned
might
this
do it
after
probably just-
Coda's passed out. He did this on purpose.
Oh my
He
god.
saw,
What, you didn't?
he saw an opportunity.
He didn't want you to make him think he was even cooler.
Miria is secretly taking a hollow vein of it.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh,
He's good
damn
with
it.
the lightsaber, the saxophone, and he's hot. Oh my gosh.
No, he's hurt.
Roll sleight of hand.
Oh boy. Come on, don't let me down.
Have you seen the reel of after my taxes? F that's hot.
I'm not.
12?
He didn't roll that high on perception, so he
Yes!
doesn't notice you.
Yes!
His perception is already not that great.
Oh, yes! Hey, for all I know, he could have rolled an at 20 on that one.
Whenever I'm playing music, whenever a character of mine's playing music, they never roll good perception. It's
Nope, they
just
don't.
brutal.
He's also been tossing a lot of drinks back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
Miria
no,
will
no.
have a secretly recorded holo vid of this performance
So
on her data pad.
I'm gonna go help Spencer really quick with Kiddens, so
Go ahead.
if you need me, text me.
go ahead.
No problem.
Thanks.
So, yeah, the rest of the evening continues to play out. It starts to get dark. They light torches around the place. Some of the people start going to bed. Some of the children resist going to bed. As is how children are. But as we get to that point, I'll say we'll go ahead and take a break here.
Cool.
Good idea.
I think there's still a little bit more we can get out before we have to go, but I'll say we'll take a quick break. Let Spencer and Lindsay take care of that, and then we shall come back and finish very shortly. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. Stick around. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes. All right,
Sir, yes, sir.
we are back. Let me just that's fine. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Yay!
We are back.
You're back. Thank you for sticking
We're
around.
still alive.
Everyone's still alive. No one's rolling initiative.
Yeah.
Yet.
Excellent.
So
Psych, yes, we are.
the evening starts to die down as it gets darker, a little bit chillier. You know, kind of that nice, cool mountain air that starts to get. That at first is very pleasant, but it starts to get just a little too chilly. This is pretty high up in the mountains. But it starts to get to the point where the activities start to die down. Asu has to be carried back to his home. He's passed out. He's also just old. So they just
I
get
can still
carried
hold
back.
my liquor.
No.
I will ask
cannot.
Byra, will you sleep on the ship or are you going to go back to your house?
I think.
This is the wrong music. You know, screw it. I'm just going to restart. I don't care.
I think I would sleep in my own home.
So you go back to your home. You
Yeah.
find back in
I
your
would
bed.
say goodnight to everybody.
It's-
Your dad's turned it into an office.
You're gone for 2 months. He's already
Ugh.
half
Dad.
office, half workout room.
It's a man cave.
It's not as
No.
He didn't touch it at all.
It's definitely not as comfortable as it is on the ship because you have luxury quarters and that crap is comfortable, but it's familiar. It's comfortable in a different way.
Yeah.
And you're able to fall asleep very easily. Yeah. The rest of you, I imagine, probably go back to the ship for to rest.
Ravery.
What?
Well, are you going back to ship for to rest?
After her 3 hours, she will go back outside and start pacing again.
Okay.
Do you ever stop moving?
No. Not recently.
Since DP only takes 3 hours of sleep, I think he'll come out and check on Ravery.
Okay.
She's totally lost in thought, not paying attention.
It's not even sunrise yet.
Have you told everyone?
Oh.
Stealth
Oh,
assassin droid over here. Yeah, he would sneak up on you.
Surprisingly, I didn't expect to, but I did manage to tell Asdepeus. And he was much more accepting than I expected. And then, Aetoff and Gratis were close by, and I don't think I reacted well, and I'm considering telling Aetoff, but she seems very close with Gratis, and that worries me. That's my only hesitation about telling her. Otherwise, yes, everybody else knows, except for Aetoff and Gratis.
Well, we have discussed Gratis on our last meeting. But surely Aetoff is closer with you.
Not that I don't want to tell her, I'm nervous with how close she is with Gratis that I don't know. The Sith are very good at prying information from people. Even when you don't think you're giving up any information, you end up telling them everything.
I see. You are afraid.
I'm terrified.
There are no easy answers.
No. There have been no easy answers for 10 years for me. Either I take the risk, or I don't, and somebody gets hurt either way. I suppose I should be used to be hurting good people. Doesn't make it any easier.
Well, I have made similar promises before to a variety of people. But should you or anyone come to harm through Gratis, I will work my hardest to destroy him.
Good droid.
As much as a droid is capable of having family, you are mine.
The feels, y'all! All the feels! Thank you, DP. Hey. Yes, I've just let fear rule my life for so long. It's what I always fall back on. What I know, but so far, I mean, I've been thinking about this quite a bit. I've had quite a bit of time, but I've gotten strangely positive answers from everybody. That is encouraging. Again, it's just Aetop's closeness with a Sith that scares me. I've gone over every conversation in my head, every scenario. I always end up thinking the worst, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what will happen. And she starts pacing again. And who's to say that Aetop won't respond positively? I mean, I don't think she would strike out at me in any kind of way. That's not who she is. But if Gratis gets the slightest inclination, I'm worried how he might respond.
Gratis is an idealist. He wishes to change the Sith from within, and that starts with himself. I would expect he is different from other Sith. He will strive towards what he cares about most, the sacrifice of everything else. What he cares about most is change for the better in his mind. What's to say that he would not take issue with Imperial intelligence and be sympathetic to your plight? The only thing that you can do is trust or distrust.
And pixie dust.
And And pixie dust.
Oh my goodness. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
Something you can get in the outer rim. It's spice.
I'm sure Robbery definitely wants to fly out of this
That would
situation.
be the name of a spice. Pixie dust.
Glitter stim.
There's what?
Spice?
Glitter stim.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's a risk that I'll been struggling with it over and over in my mind. Still not quite certain what I should do, but suppose she'll find out sooner or later, and I'd rather it came from me.
As you said earlier, you are not so loyal to just yourself now. If you tell her, I'm confident she will understand. And even if you fear she may speak with gratis, if you asked her, she would not.
She just kinda shrugs. Here's to taking risks, I guess.
Yes. I will leave you to your brooding.
He calls it out as he sees it.
Calling you out.
Yeah. She's not disagreeing with him.
And he'll head back into the ship.
Okay.
Give you some peace.
Robbery will pull out all of her sketchbook and her pencils and whatever and just start drawing.
Say pencils or pretzels?
I heard pretzels.
I heard pretzels too.
I draw with pretzels.
Talented.
Nice sketch pretzels.
Yeah. Are you don't you use pretzels to draw?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Roll for pretzels. 7.
7 pretzels.
All at the same time.
Alright. So the rest of you eventually over the course of the night, because you're all not freaks that only need 3 hours of sleep. I'm just kidding.
What the heck? I'm a training.
I just need to plug in and unplug some tubes.
Yeah, you're good. You all come to, and excuse me, it's a beautiful dawn. You guys got to bed. Not
Oh, what
terribly
a
late.
beautiful morning.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The sun's on the other side. Actually, the show seems to be a little inconclusive about where the sun rises or sets. I'll just say it's on the other side because the sunset was on the side with the ship. So it's on the other side.
What show?
Visions. Vision seems to
Oh.
have the sun rise and set in the same location.
It's convenient.
It's
paint-
cinematically convenient.
Why paint 2 views when you can paint 1?
Exactly. So you all come to. Village has been cleaned up
Overnight.
overnight, and I'll say that you're still waiting to hear from Aranos or anybody about the whereabouts of Raymont Black or Cassilia Zahn. I'll say while you're here is sort of when you take the time to level up. So, Coda, if you wanted to approach either Gratis or Astapayas to train you more in lightsaber usage, that's fine.
I see that look in your eyes.
Because it is sort of when I'll say, like, Byra, you are instructed through your father, who's also a member, like, kind of knows the monastic order.
Really biggest like lightsaber
He
user.
teaches you
Seem like mom
that
and you.
monastic value to it, the ability to
Okay.
channel the Majina to heal yourself,
No
or heal others,
restoration.
basically. Yeah.
Freaking one can abandon with his lightsaber.
So, it's kind of a moment for you guys to take time to hone your skills a little bit.
So, Coda would watch Gratis from afar, never going up to him.
Gratis doesn't use his lightsaber. He just like kind of finds a stick with the kind of right length and just sort of.
Okay, he will
Yeah,
keep
so
very
why would he
careful
be going
watch.
around with a red lightsaber?
I know, but he'd keep very careful watch of the movements and mimic them. As to Payas, he mimicked his movements as well for a bit.
Making the lightsaber noises.
But then eventually would like go to him, turn on the lightsaber, and all he would say is like,
Let's do this.
Oh no.
Where did you get that?
What color is it?
It's purple.
The crystal Raiders gave. Didn't you watch him? Or
Oh,
were you
that's
not
right.
there?
Oh.
Or were you not there for that part? You might have wandered off.
He was standing off to the side watching the entire thing.
Yeah, you might have wandered off at that point. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I kind of remember, but not really.
Pretty
I'm
much.
just gonna like look around for like any help. Like I'm just like.
But I woke up and the Force gave me this. And it might have been Gratis, but I think it's more the Force.
I mean, I don't know if the Force works that way, but we can try.
It's not how the Force works.
I mean, why don't we practice with a stick first? Something less deadly. Something less deadly.
Like burn some grass.
Yeah.
Hits the ground, kicks it up.
I will fight you if we do it with a stick first.
Okay.
Okay. Can I find two kind of lightsaber sized sticks?
Yeah, it's Gratis did it. You can do it too.
Okay, cool. I'll
No,
throw a stick to him.
Make him, but
Yeah, that's true. I'll throw you a stick and
and then we practice.
Do a little bit of practice, and eventually you start to get the hang of it. You know, the idea of how a lightsaber is supposed to work. You've already used the one once, and so now you've got a little more. And I believe Ravri or Atop gave you the one that she took from the other Sith, which was a double saber.
Yeah.
I
So-
did.
You have
But
a
it
double
doesn't-
saber.
Yeah, I'm only using it as a single right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Because I believe you need an actual proficiency to use it as a double.
It says, doesn't yours say all light weapons?
It does.
You just have it then.
Never mind then.
If it's all light
There's
weapons.
the fighting styles to do.
Well, I took the crystal out of it
Okay.
though.
And you can still use the double feature on it, but like 2-weapon fighting, you don't get to add your modifier to that. It's just the straight like D8. I believe
Yeah.
it is.
What'd you
checked.
say,
Yeah,
Lindsay?
I took
then you would need another.
I took the crystal out of the lightsaber.
Yes.
Yes. Then Gratis
Yeah.
gave me a crystal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just clear. Just making sure.
And installed it for him.
Yup.
Correct.
It's like,
Right in
oh,
front
this
of
is a
him.
problem.
Yoink. But Coda during that time sometime would go up to Aetoff. Proudly displaying the lightsaber on his belt. But he goes up to her and he says,
Hello, fellow chosen one of the Force.
Oh my gosh.
Most sitting and like either reading or like writing in a journal, and she's kind of like levitating a little like 2 or 3 little stones just above her hand while she's doing it. And she's gonna, when you say that, she's gonna drop the stones in her hand and catch them. Excuse excuse me.
I have not been seeking answers, nor have I been meditating, nor have I been touching the Force, but the Force has heard my pleas for a lightsaber, and
he pulls it out, lights both blades.
Oh, frick.
I did it!
Frick.
Also, Alex, what's your saber form that you use? I actually need to know this because I get one saber
Are you
form.
Jarkai?
No, I'm a Taru.
You're
Give me a
Taru.
Taru form.
Oh, okay.
Like
Can you
raise
get
her
a Taru
eyebrow.
form?
I get
He
it.
gets a lightsaber form.
Oh my god.
Anyway, sorry, Lindsay. What?
She's just gonna kind of like raise her eyebrows and not really say anything for the second, and then say, you know, I always thought that giving you that lightsaber would bite me in the butt.
That's exist in Star Wars.
Canon. It's canon.
Maybe it was the Force telling you it wasn't okay.
Oh boy.
Hey, Tom, if you look over, you see Gratis go.
Suffice it to say, Coda does not remember much
No.
of that night.
No, he doesn't.
I'm sure Gratis probably realizes that too.
Aetop is gonna throw one of the little pebbles in her hand at you.
Deflect it!
How does it work?
How do I roll?
He misses.
Does he know the deflect?
It's a
force
save.
power?
It's a force ability to use saber reflect.
Oh no!
I'll just say she just hits you with it. Because that's a force ability. Gratis has it.
I swing late, and it's like, whew.
And she's just gonna say, please, just don't break anything. Or anyone.
As the pace trained me.
Yeah, okay, just don't come near me with that lightsaber, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna turn it off.
I did have a question to ask you, though.
What's up? And she's gonna continue, like, lifting and rotating the little stones.
Since I'm basically a Jedi at this point, I really need to know, how do the Jedi view the Sith? Like, really? I've always known they're like, brother, sister, I hate you, but from your point of view, how is it like?
Skywalker!
Oh my
It's course.
I guess my best explanation would be that the Jedi view the Sith as opposites of themselves. While the Sith are necessary to exist as part of the balance between good and evil and the Force, a lot of Jedi see the Sith as their enemies because they are so inherently opposite of each other. So, the Sith oppose the Jedi oppose the Sith, but both good and evil, light and dark, both exist in the galaxy. Does that make
Like
sense?
magnets?
What?
Like magnets?
Magnets.
Yeah, kind of like magnets.
Okay.
Or
I think I understand. So is that why you don't see Gratis as an enemy?
I did see him as an enemy because of what he was. Because he was so opposite of me and as Tepeus. But being able to fight with him and work with him has helped me to understand that balance is important. Do you remember when we were on Malachor and we were closing the big rift in the Force?
Yes, but I mainly remember the big scary guy with the red lightsaber coming at us as if he was a mountain and we were pebbles.
So, when we closed the rift on Malachor, it didn't make all the Sith go away, right? The big mountainous, very, very scary Sith that appeared did go away. But he was only there because of the overwhelming dark presence there, and because of the imbalance that was created by that rift. Once we closed the rift, it didn't make all the Sith in the world disappear. But it did restore an imbalance that had been there.
Okay. Like we're lining the magnets.
Yeah.
Or like setting timers on thermal detonators.
Sure. Do you understand? So, I don't really see Gratis as an enemy anymore because he has become our ally. I mean, some Sith will work hard to oppose the work of the Jedi, and inherently that makes them opposing the Jedi. But that doesn't mean that every Sith is not capable of good things, and that every Jedi is not capable of bad things. There are Jedi who have done bad things and hurt people, innocent people, and there are Sith who have done things to help restore balance in the universe.
Okay. I just have one concern. And I say this as your friend and fellow Jedi-ish person thing. There was lots of stories of the Sith in the barracks of the Republic. And, one of the things that stuck out to me was Sith convincing Jedi to either give up or turn to the dark or the Sith themselves. So I got to thinking, since Gratis is a Sith, what if he's doing that to you and has to pay us? I mean, it makes sense that, especially since he's getting closest to both of you guys opposed to everyone else like me.
That is a valid concern, and I appreciate you sharing it with me. I think it is absolutely valid to be afraid that he would have some kind of motive like that. I think that there are Sith out there who, in Gratis's position, would do that. However, in the time that we've spent with Gratis, I have sensed no ill intention from him in regards to trying to convert us to being Sith. How has he shown us how the Sith work, what they are capable of? Yes. And that has changed my mind on some things. But
I mean, you kind of have to give a little to get what you want, right?
What?
You kind of have to give a little in order to get what you want, right?
Yes, that's true. But I have no intention of turning to the dark side. The Jedi way of light and balance has been ingrained in me and will not falter. As long as I am in control of myself, then that will be the case.
He will, Coda will put his hand on your shoulder and says...
I thought she was sitting.
Oh, no, she's floating.
She's floating.
She's like,
so,
but she's probably only light.
Well, if you're sure, and rest assured that I still don't trust him. I kind of hate him a little. But I'm gonna keep watch over you and Asclepius and really everyone. But mainly you two now, because I'm like Jedi now. First chosen one, you know?
Okay. Well, I appreciate you watching over us.
You're welcome.
And it's okay to not trust him. I think he's done a lot of good for us, though. But that decision is always going to be up to you. So I will not tell you to trust him or not. I will just tell you what I think, and you can go from there.
I trust you guys. And if you think that siding with him's a good idea, I mean, he's been with us for a while, but, I trust you guys. I'll always have your back. Even if we part ways.
I'm sure we'll be parting ways with Gratis soon here anyways. I mean, he has said that once his mission is done with Raymond Black, he's just going to go back to his master and their plans. So you might not even have to worry about it for a while.
You see a visible side, like, well, I guess you don't see, but
she does in a way.
In your way of saying, you're able to notice the visible sense of relief from you saying that.
I don't think he ever intended on staying with us for this long, really, but he's not staying with us forever, so I think he'll be okay.
Not.
Wow. You're such a...
He has the same good reasons to distrust him as Ravery does.
Yeah, and like I said, your reasons to distrust him are absolutely valid, and I think if I wasn't so deeply connected with the Force as I am, I would probably feel the same way. My connection to the Force and to the Jedi and Sith has changed my perspective, but that doesn't mean that your perspective is not important either.
Yeah. Thank you for realizing that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna trust him. I'm gonna trust in you who trust him.
Perfect. That works. Now, please don't go hurting anybody with your new lightsaber, okay?
Rat! 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 Never!
Wow.
It's...
Wow. That escalated.
He immediately drops it and sets off.
Kota, treat your lightsaber like an extension of your own body. Don't... You wouldn't go around just hitting people in the face. So, be careful with it.
He's too short. He can't reach them.
Okay.
And he will happily just saunter away.
Okay. Well, with that, I know there are a couple of more interactions we wanted to have, but we're getting a little late, so we can continue those next time. Because I know there was one Gratis wanted to have with Dex, but since we're having...
And then Miriam with Dex as well.
So we can get to that tomorrow, but as of right now, I'll say
Next
the last
time.
thing that...
Yeah, next time, of course.
Then the last thing that happens is that... excuse me. You all get an incoming communication from Oranos Zalo's holofrequency. And we will just leave it there for tonight.
Oh.
We will have to push back our next session to so it usually would be in 2 weeks. We're going to push it to 3 weeks because in 2 weeks is our anniversary, mine and my wife's anniversary.
Yeah.
Cute.
So we will be taking
Yeah, that's true.
that Saturday to spend time together. What?
I'll talk to you later.
Just say it now. If we're not going to be able to do it, let's just say it now.
One Shot's gonna be here that weekend.
Okay?
Okay.
She doesn't play, and I kind of
Okay.
don't know if she. I don't know.
Gotcha.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Either way, it won't be next week. Maybe the week after, but we'll see. We'll keep you guys posted. If you tune into us on Twitch every Friday, we'll let you know. Check us out on Instagram at the NerdHerd90s as well. We'll probably post it there. Also, thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow us if you haven't already. We like putting out this content for you. Subscribe if you're feeling generous. We appreciate all of you guys for being here and love you guys for always tuning out to this. For those of you who continue to be here, we love you guys. We will see you in a galaxy far, far away in the next one. Bye.
Bye.